Devil's game. No. They're Windsor, but he had it set up here for tomorrow. So he had all his kits set up here. So that's what set up. That's what Floyd's set up. Look, apparently it was meant to be being played in tomorrow. Or something. Well, he was under the impression that it was. He was moved to Windsor.
Sai cosa fare se non sei in grado di votare il giorno delle elezioni perché hai impegni di lavoro, di viaggio o di altro tipo? Potresti essere in grado di votare presso un centro per il voto anticipato o fare...
Ready to go.
Okay.
Welcome to round 8 action here on City Park Radio and the TSL. It's North Launceston up against Glenorchy. All teams have now played each other once. So the ladder is starting to take shape, and the Bombers, after a couple of indifferent performances, really have struck back in the last couple of weeks with a big win over the Tigers. The Pies, well, they've had a difficult season. They've had to forfeit today in the Development League, but they've got a team together here that's going to try and compete against the might of the Northern Bombers on their own turf. So look forward to the action here this afternoon. Welcome to the team. First of all, to my left here, Rob Soward. G'day, Rob.
G'day, Dave, and great to be here. The stadium looking, the ground looking terrific, despite the fact we've had a bit of rain around. And again, the Bombers will be glad to be back home and looking forward to put on a good display for their fans.
Yes, they're out on the ground, and Glenorchy just entering the arena now. And good afternoon. After a bit of a sojourn, he's been away for a few weeks, but welcoming back, we love him here on City Park Radio, Max Walker. G'day, Max.
Good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon, Rob, and welcome listeners. And I guess I'd like to emphasise what you said in your intro there, Dave, about Glenorchy will be trying to compete today. They're a club on their knees at the moment, is probably a nice way to say it, but they've put a team together. There's 22 of them out there to compete against 22, so the coaching staff would be expecting 100% effort for them, and they've got nothing to lose really apart from go out and enjoy their game of footy.
Absolutely, and they've got still got some experienced players in there that they'll have to really lean on this afternoon. Down on the ground, we've got Chris Sayer, who's our boundary rider today. Chris, the rain has stopped.
Yes, it has stopped. It's very pleasant down here. There's a bit of a slight breeze favouring the southern end, the city end. A typical York Park comes through that gap, I think, between those two grandstands down there. But as usual with an AFL standard ground, it's just like carpet here. It's just amazing, isn't it? So, great conditions. It's not raining at the moment, but it's threatening. It's a very pleasant 17 degrees here, just about reached its maximum. So if this rain, it's just sort of drizzly rain, it shouldn't have that much of an impact on a ground like this. And you're right, it will be interesting to just see how Glenorchy handles the day.
Breeze down there, Chris?
No, not really a breeze. But what there is favouring the southern end.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that. We'll talk to you again during the game, Chris.
Okay, we'll do.
Chris Sayer there, our boundary rider on stats today. It's Dave Gruber, our best in the business. His Hawks are playing this afternoon, so we'll keep you up to date with that, as well as the other TSL games. Of course, we're starting an hour earlier than some of the other contests. So, Max, I'll talk to you about some of those experienced players, and Ben Camerick, despite where they are on the ladder, he's leading a lot of league-wise, a lot of the stats, especially clearances. So they might get a bit of it out of the middle if they can get it down to him.
Yeah, they might, Dave, and you're right about the stats. I was having a look at them last night, and I think, without being specific, they were right up there with centre clearances, Glenorchy. So, it's not a team without their positives and their good players. It's just a matter of them just putting pressure on the North Launceston guys today, and guys like Camerick and a few of the others who we've been calling for a few years now, for them to stand up and support the younger guys around them and make them feel like senior footballers. I think that's the key, to make them feel comfortable that they are right to play at this level.
And Rob, we saw Launceston absolutely annihilate North Launceston a few weeks ago, but since then they've had a good win against North Hobart and a massive win last week against the Tigers. So Michael Stingle back today, who really spice up their midfield. So they're looking to keep that improvement going, and they'll want to win this one well today.
Absolutely, Dave, and a great thing following on from what Max just shared. You look at the contested disposals, and the Northern Bombers lead the league in that measure at the moment. Glenorchy at the bottom end there. So Stingle back in obviously adds something to that. But certainly a win over Kingborough, fantastic. An 8-pointer really to go down there and beat them is just a terrific outcome.
Some exciting young players in Northern Bombers. Jack O'Hearn's having a great season. Josh Rickard, Willman Shannon, one of the best last week. Isaac Newitt. So, Max, it's always good to see some of those younger players come through. North do it consistently, don't they? And exciting players quick on this beautiful surface here at UTAS Stadium.
Yeah, and they're probably fortunate that they wouldn't probably think so themselves, but they have had an exodus of players over the last couple of years, but they've been able to identify their guys coming through, and most of those guys, apart from the new ones this year, they've probably got 6, 8, 10, 12 games under their belt now, so they would be starting to feel like part of the team and know how the Cox Goodger wants them to play and that type of thing. So some really exciting talent in the North team, and look forward to seeing what's out there for the Glenorchy boys.
Senior field umpires today, Nathan Geeson, Nick Butler and Nick Merritt-Smith. Trying to get things underway on City Park Radio. Here's Rob Soward.
Lee versus Brown in the middle. Brown first hand on for Glenorchy, and first clearance to them, as we talked about how important that was, driving the ball into the forward line. Bombers defence setting up beautifully, and a nice mark taken there by Fletcher Bennett. Bennett looks to play on. An option in short there. Oh, nice, that's a nice juggle. Nice juggle taken there. Bombers play a stream to the open side here. Ball's gone back into the middle of the ground. Man Shandon, we talked about him earlier. Grabs the ball, looking for options. We heard a whistle there, but no. Play on's the call. Driven along by Schulzberger into the forward line. Bennett flies. Oh, almost took the mark. Ball to ground. Glenorchy could have got a free kick there, but no, ball held up. Ball held up 25 metres out from the Northern Bombers goal, Dave.
Well, we talked about one of the best clearance players in the league, Ben Camerick, the first one to drive it forward. He got the first one of the day. Tap comes out, taken there by Liam Roach. Kicked out of defence by Geard. Clears defensive 50. Lee bounced off his chest. This last week did Alex Lee through illness. And it spills out of bounds, left half forward for the Bombers. Other games today, Launceston playing North Hobart at Windsor Park. And a big one at Kingborough, the Tigers up against the resurgent Lauderdale. We'll see here next week against the Northern Bombers. The curtain raiser game next Sunday from 11 o'clock here on City Park Radio. As Lee gets a tap out. Now the handball comes out here towards Bales. Kick semi-smothered. Still an attacking 50. No one can take clear possession. Willman Shannon was in there. Aven emerges. Good pressure there from Geared for Glenorchy. Picking it up there is Arnold. And Glenorchy just holding it up. Slippery conditions. Ball up on their defensive side of the centre square. Lee in a ruck there against Luke Brown. Comes out Bales, dispossessed. Good tackling Glenorchy. Little kick away by Camerick to the wing. Northern Bombers lead the chase with Stingle.
You could raffle this, there's space galore here. Stingle picks it up, clever on that left boot, drives it back in. Glenorchy have the numbers though and chop it off at half back. Looking for options is Camerick. Called him a few times already today, Dave.
Yep.
Long kick, he's kicked it almost back to where it's come from. Bombers are going to mop up across half back, and again, setting up so well as they do. Looking to go inboard, swings around, drives it back into the centre of the ground. Glenorchy have the numbers and chop it off. That's a great diving mark taken there by the Bombers.
Young Will
Harper. Good inclusion for them, Harper. Goes back out to the wing. Just willing to pass the ball around the Bombers. Looking for their options. Driving it into the forward line. Looks like Cox Goodger. Nice. Well, good pressure. Cox Goodger using that body strength, trying to keep it in. Asking the umpire the question, but the umpire says no. That's going to be a boundary throw-in just outside the 50 arc in the Northern Bombers forward line. Glenorchy player would have been a little nervous there. Brad Cox Goodger usually very dominant in those situations. Umpire throws it in and up goes Lee. Had best position, beat them all. Glenorchy first hands on. Bombers trying to set something up here. Quick hands. Driving the ball inside 50. Great smother by the Magpies. They're really putting their bodies on the line at the moment, Dave, which is what Max said they've got to do today. Really got to do that today and set a presence, I think.
The modern lingo, Max's pressure acts.
It is, Dave, and so far the Magpies are doing really well. They're defending well to keep the Bombers scoreless in the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game.
Getting a bit dark here. Rain might not be far away. Oh, that's a high tackle there on Jack Avent. Best on ground last week. Down there at the Twin Ovals. Attacking side of the centre. Crowded forward line. He goes towards the pocket. It's going to clear the contest. The Cox Goodjar takes the mark, thinks about playing on, but wisely goes back and settles for a shot. 20 out. Now he goes round, play on. Snaps for goal. Brad Cox Goodjar. That's the first of the Northern Bombers here this afternoon at UTAS Stadium. Easy as you like on the left. 1 goal straight, 6 the Bombers. Glenorchy yet to score.
You really wanted to continue running there, didn't you? You just had about 6 or 7 steps too close to the boundary line to be able to straighten up. So he did the right thing, pretended he was going to go back and have a set shot, but took 3 or 4 steps and did what all players seem to want to do these days, just kick around and across the body. Don't know why, but nothing wrong with a drop punt for me.
The thing that drives the old footy coaches like me crazy. Max, that stuff. But anyway, it's a modern game, isn't it?
Apparently it is.
You might be able to hear on our effects mic there that rain just starting to fall on the roof. We've got a little bit darker and a bit cold there, and then we've got a shower coming across the ground. First important goal there to Northern Bombers. Another clearance to Camerick. Gets away to Roberts. Goes wide and out to Whitford, who takes the mark. Does it well in the wet conditions. Now he plays on. First inside 50, Glenorchy. And Leafland, I think, takes a good mark back there. Gets the handball away to Stingle. They rebound nicely from defence. Mark taken by Blade Sulzberger. Gets the handball away. Back to Leaflang. Lovely disposal, finds Newitt in the middle. He goes wider. Fletcher Bennett drifted down from defence. Oh, he slips over. Confronted by his fellow number 7 there, Luke Brown. Has to release it to Bales. Short distance kick. Now with Pearce on attacking 50. Wheels around to the goal square. Ives will stand up and take the mark. Theo Ives, his player lost connection, fell over, and ended up being a straightforward mark to Ives in the end.
Just quick ball movement by the Bombers then from one end to the other. A couple of mistakes, but wasn't enough pressure on them when they did make those mistakes to turn it over.
Right to play from Leaflang. He took a strong mark and then made the connection through the middle of the ground. Here's Theo Ives. Impressive youngster on the left foot, across the face. Out of bounds on the full. And leading free kick will be taken by Ben Camerick.
Yeah, they look very vulnerable, don't they, Glenorchy, with that quick ball movement, as most sides do, but Bombers certainly good enough to open them up. Camerick's looking for options. Umpire's directing a teammate out of there. He's going to make him go back and take that again. He's looking to come out here to this side, the commentary box side. And that's exactly what he does. Big long kick up the line. Players fly. Umpire's picked a free kick out, a holding free kick, and it's going the Bombers' way. And Stingle, I think that is, centres the ball beautifully. Oh, good use of the body there by the Glenorchy player, and Roberts knocked him out. Bombers recover, has a shot on goal, but misses the lot. Was that
Will Harper?
Will Harper.
Yep. Yeah. Lively early.
Had a little bit more time, I think, Harper, than he thought he did there. But anyway, Glenorchy will replay what we talked about for the last 90 seconds, this time on the other side of the ground. Kicking out to the UTAS side. Glenorchy players fly. Ball in dispute on the ground. Bombers first hands on. Got the numbers around. It's going to come back inside 50. Better this time from the Glenorchy defence, and that's a nice mark taken by Jack Mayles. They certainly had the numbers there that time. Mayles goes sideways. A little bit slippery, as you called, Dave. That bit of rain. Looking for his options. Nice kick there from Geared. Kicks to a contest. Bombers getting the numbers around the contest though, so trying to get some options here, keeping the ball moving at all times. Good wet weather footy, Bombers. Quick hands there. Ball goes backwards from Lee. Back to Bennett. Ball comes back to the centre of the ground to a Bombers player all by himself in Jack Ahern. Ahern plays on and runs through the middle onto his left boot. Drives it forward. Oh, that's a fantastic mark. Fantastic mark, Theo Ives. What great use of the body, Dave, just to get his opponent out of the way.
Lovely delivery. Jack Ahern, Max, probably haven't seen him a lot of him this year, but he is an impressive young player, son of Adam. And,
Yes.
on that left foot there, good disposal.
Yep, Adam was a very, very good ruckman in the first lot of State League back in the late 80s and 90s. Devonport and North Launceston from memory, and got drafted to Carlton.
Theo Ives moves in on the left foot. Oh, makes the umpire work. He probably would have put that one in the scorebook, I reckon, guys. It was very gettable.
Early days, that's here for Dave Gruber. 7 inside 50s to 1, although Glenorchy have won the clearances. I swear Ben Cummings had 3 of the 4 that they've had. So they lead that 4-2. So some good signs there for Glenorchy. They just need to get some more forward entries as Whitford takes a mark on defensive 50. Goes up the wing. Lee at the front of the contest, doesn't fly for the mark. Stingle reading it well. He's come back nicely into the team. Takes his time with the disposal. Sweeping handball. Finds Skipper. Defensive handball to the 100-game player in Corey Nankervis. His little kick finds Stingle again. Lots of possessions early. Beautiful kick to Chugg. Declan Chugg. Finding a niche across the back line this year. Inside 50, Ives there again, and Bennett. Neither can take the mark. Pearce roving. Does pretty well. Can't find the handle. Rush behind in the end. 1 goal, 2-8. Glenorchy yet to score.
They look a lot more measured, don't they, Dave, with their forward entries and their structure setting up back through the middle of the ground.
Stingle looks all right. He's been missed about 5 or 6 weeks, Maxie, but getting lots of it.
No, he's very, very polished for a young man, Dave.
Josh Arnold, veteran. Kicks outside defensively. It's a fine mark, front position, wet conditions. Wait till the player gets up. Fletcher Bennett. Been one of the best each and every week for North Launceston. Kicks inside 50. He'll clear the pack. Go to Harper. Can't take the mark. Scrubby kick out of defence by Glenorchy. Lands back now with Stingle. Fashions a kick inside 50. A lot of Northern Bombers players here around the contest. Cox Goodger. Handball. Ends up now with Harper. Snap on goal. Will Harper's missed. So they're missing some opportunities. 1 goal, 3-9. Northern Bombers. Glenorchy yet to score.
Yeah, certainly can't question Glenorchy's commitment, as you both touched on. But Bombers certainly here to play today. They could be up by 4 goals. Glenorchy got the ball just inside their defensive 50. Ball's coming out in front of the commentary position to a contest. Clears all players there. Bombers again looking to reload and set up through the agency of Hubbard, who goes back inboard to a vent, but the boundary line is Glenorchy's friend, and they can set up again. They just look relentless, the Bombers, with their structure trying to go inside 50. A lot of inside 50s, as you remarked, Dave. Free kick to Glenorchy here, though. Driven along up towards the contest in the wing where the ruckman set themselves, beats them. Bombers again mopping up through the agency of Nankervis. Bombers free kick, didn't have it that time. Umpire no advantage. A throw.
Yep.
Oh dear, that's why I'm not an umpire, I'm a commentator. Free kick there to Glenorchy, and that's going to be Brown who takes that. Brown goes out to Whitford. Long kick just outside the 50. Bombers have got the numbers, should set up and clear here. Bennett again. Ball coming back here around the grandstand side.
I'll go Roberts, win Declan Chugg. Roberts a bit blindside up in our position, and Chugg gets it up here towards Ives. He's been busy. Tommy Bennett has a spell. Ives plays on, maybe foolishly, gets it to Bennett though. Now to Van Shannon, freshly on the ground. Lovely kick, Man Shannon. Pearce, second grab mark on his chest. Kicked a bag of goals last week, did Nathan Pearce, under terrible conditions down there at Twin Ovals. Boy from Hillwood. He's going to deliver from right on 50.
Right on his distance here, I think, Dave.
That's why he goes short and finds an unattended Bradley Cox-Goodger.
Don't think the distance will be an issue for this guy.
Nope.
That's the second time we've seen that, though, haven't we? They picked Cox-Goodger outside in the 50, so Glenorchy got to sharpen that up, haven't they?
Bread and butter here, you think, for Cox-Goodger. 45-degree angle, 40 out. In he comes, kicks for goal, and it's no bread or butter. It's missed to the left-hand side. 1-4-10, inaccurate Bombers.
Bit of dripping there, Dave.
Absolutely, I was looking for that.
Dripping.
Yeah, people in our era would remember bread and dripping.
Luxury.
Artery filler. As in it comes now towards Manson. Out to Josh Arnold. His little kick over the top's not great. Might find the boundary line to be the best result. Out of bounds. Left half forward for North Launceston. They lead by 10 points. Here's Rob Sauer for City Park Radio Sport.
Glenorchy would be happy, though, I guess the damage has been minimised, as I noted. Good kicking, and they're down by 30 points. So 10 points, they'd take that at this stage of the game. Ball comes in. Liam Brown. Lee, first hand on, as you'd expect. Slippery ball, picked up and cleared by the Bombers. Another inside 50 entry. Cox-Goodger again. Bennett that was. Ball punched away from him. Back outside 50. Bombers again have got the numbers. Going to get a free kick there for a high one. And that was just a careless tackle, really. And looks like Blade Sulzberg has got that. Just outside 50. Running around to get a bit of extra distance. Drives it in off that left leg. Straight to a contest. Bombers have got the numbers. Front and centre. Quick hands out. That's a great snap. And that's Jack Avent. He doesn't miss those guys, does he? Front and centre as you'd expect him to be. And again, after 3 or 4 early misses by the Bombers, Avent makes the most of a hard one, Max.
Yeah, and made up for the error, which was an uncustomary error of Jackie Avent's earlier, where he kicked it out of bounds on the full down here with very little pressure on him. But front and centre, perfect spot. There was 3 or 4 Bombers there who could have lined up to kick that one, and they're just absolutely peppering that inside 50 at the moment.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 131 161. Back in the centre of the ground. Also today's stream, of course, brought to you by DALY Potato Co. On the TSL live stream on YouTube. Early start here this afternoon. 2 big games coming up in the TSL at 2 o'clock. Lee wins a tap. Great tackle laid there by Camerick. Secondary ball up. Bit of NTFA action today too, Max. A big one out at Rachel Lee and Longford.
Yeah, I'll get an update for us once that starts, 2 o'clock-ish.
Still in the middle of UTAS Stadium. Wrestle for the ball. It's been a pretty open game so far. Out it comes. Sulzberger. Stingle sells a candy. Couple of times to Lee. Give and go with Stingle. Now the handball to Chugg. Great footy here by North Launceston. They stream inside 50. A little dinky kick for Ives. There's too much heat on it. Chance here for the Glenorchy defence. Kick towards the boundary. It's dubious. Insufficient attempt.
Yes, great call.
Umpire Nick Butler. Last night was any guide, that was a certainty. There's a few of those paid last evening. Oscar Van Dam with the ball. The blue boots. Right half forward. Inside 50. Plenty of Pies defenders there. Getting his hand to it there was Liam Roach. And it's holding the ball.
That was hot, that one. Took half a step, but anyway, he
Taking
took
on
him
the
on.
tackler. So free kick.
Good decision.
Josh Arnold to relieve from defence for Glenorchy.
Where they find themselves a lot of time today, Glenorchy. 20 metres out from their own goal. Umpire blows play on. Arnold goes short, and that ball straight to Geared. Not gained a lot, only probably travelled the minimum, but anyway, Geared having a look for his options. Umpire calls play on. Geared comes out this way. Thought he'd almost picked the Northern Bombers player out there, but anyway, ball just out of bounds, just short of the wing position. So better position for Glenorchy as they look to try and stymie the Bombers, who've certainly had plenty of the ball inside 50. Lee in perfect position there. Beautiful hand down to Goodger. Cox Goodger. Glenorchy players jump on him. Umpire says that's mine. Just outside the point of the square on the Bombers' attacking side of that feature. Ball goes up again. Brown and Lee. Probably a draw that time. Glenorchy first hands on. Umpire's called play on. The ball spilled out. Bombers another look inside 50. Beautiful kick. Tommy Bennett presents as you would expect on the lead and takes that ball full extension of the arms about 40 metres out. So a bit of a worry, Max, for the Bombers. They look really, really good once they get it moving.
Absolutely, and there's no one better in my eyes in the competition at the moment to see a Tommy Bennett with a bit of space in front of him. He's got beautiful hands.
Bennett moves in. We expect this to be a goal. Umpire does not move. Pulls the triggers, and that's the third on the board to the Northern Bombers. Northern Bombers 3-4-22. Glenorchy yet to score, Max.
Yep.
Nice assist there from Harry Bales.
It was, yeah, just a little short 30-metre kick. He is a natural left footer, but give him a little bit of space as well, young Bales, and he uses the ball well. Just a bit on, young Ahern. I mentioned that his father may have been drafted to Carlton, but thanks to the ever-reliable Stuart Groom, under 18 coach extraordinaire here at the Bombers. It was Brisbane and Hawthorn he was drafted to,
okay.
So thanks, Groomy. My era.
Was an old teammate of yours, Adam? You at any stage?
Opposition.
Opposition, there you go. Back in the middle.
Didn't ruck against him, Max?
Rove to him quite a bit, but didn't.
Inside 50s are amazing, 16-2 at this stage. Clearance is still fairly even. Bombers lead that 5-4. So another chance for clearance here for either team. Tackled there is Jordan Green for the Pies. Now it comes out, but umpire blew the whistle just at that very moment as the Pies were going forward. So Corey Nankervis, congratulations today. 100th game for the Northern Bombers. Of course, he spent some time at Georgetown. Brother of Toby, who of course is a champion with Richmond. A good servant back there in defence. Doesn't get a lot of possessions, but ever reliable.
He does a great job, doesn't he?
Yeah,
really
plays against a lot of good forwards.
Real pillar of that defence.
So the ball is returned back to the middle. Winning the tap there is Lee. Up against Matthew McInnes on that occasion. Declan Chuggy, I like his work across half back. Handball over the top's not great towards Ahern. Isaac Manson does pretty well. Gets the handball away to Dilger. Now to Camerick. Skillfully gets out of trouble. Arnold just throws it on the boot. Looking for a forward entry. It's right on attacking 50. Good work, Bennett. Feeds it back now to Stingle. Now to Ahern. Back to Bennett, all by hand. By Chug now, by hand as well. Leans back in a kick. It's a beauty. Finds Jackie Avent. Attacking side of the wing. Has a runner there, and Rickard. Nice delivery to Cox Goodger. Great footy, North Launceston. Put that one in the highlight reel. From half back. Chain of possessions. Ended up with a lovely kick to Brad Cox Goodger. He'll line up from about 40 out. Great footy, Max.
It is good footy. Hubbard and Stingle, guys, both in long sleeves.
Yep.
A bit hard to tell the difference, but that was Hubbard who was involved in that play. Trout, we call him.
Cox Goodger for his second, and he's dobbed it. 2 goals to Brad Cox Goodger. Now they're starting to move the Northern Bombers. 4-4-28. Scoreboard saying 2, but I'm sure it's up to 4 now. 4-4-28. They lead Glenorchy yet to score.
He catches a lot of trout, Ethan Hubbard, too.
He does. My word, he does. That's why they nicknamed him the Trout.
He's a good fisherman.
Bit of time with the Devils this year. Had a few senior games last year, but didn't they move that well, Max?
They did.
The skills were spot on.
Yeah, the skills were spot on. And to date, the pressure from Glenorchy's been okay. I guess my concern is, as the game progresses, they haven't got it deep into their 50 at all at the moment, I don't think, groups. Very, very few entries, and as the game progresses, will they still have that, I guess, composure and desire to keep applying that pressure?
Absolutely. On the big ground, you've got to wonder about that, don't you? Because it certainly does throw a lot of visiting teams. Ball back in the middle.
17 in 550 to 2. Back to you, Rob.
And good tap there from McGuinness. He's relieving Brown in the ruck, but the Bombers are going to come away with it by hand, as they've done for so much. So that's a great tackle, though. Bombers looked like they were out then, but really, really good pressure from Glenorchy. Really, really good effort, and that was Richard Dilger. Terrific tackle, holding the ball up. Ball goes up in the middle of the ground. Lee all by himself, no contest there, off the ground by Dilger. Glenorchy looked to mop up, could have got a free kick, but no. Umpire says, play on. Ball back in the middle of the ground. Glenorchy chop it off. Looked like a throw. Holding the ball, indeed, to great tackle. Great pressure from the Bombers. They really swarmed around that one then. Relieving free kicks about to be taken by Blade Sulzberger, looking for his options. I think he's probably going to go straight up the middle, which he does. Just outside 50. Bennett presenting beautifully. Ball clears him. Boundary line might win, I think. Great pressure there from Glenorchy. Under attack as they've been for much of this quarter. We're going to see a boundary throw in. Around about 25 metres around from goal in the forward pocket. But all Bombers at this stage.
Lights are on. Rain has stopped. Still some dark clouds around. Boundary thrown inside attacking 50. McInnes there up against Ives. Ives wins a tap to Cox-Goodger. And he's pinged there for holding the ball as Brad Cox-Goodger. So relieving free kick to Glenorchy. Player there with the ball is the number 8, Callum Thompson. Goes wide looking for Arnold. Heavily disguised as Ben Camrick, who takes the mark at right half back. Sees things down. Now kicks long up the line. It's a poor kick though from Camrick. What do you expect from Ben? Out of bounds on the full. Ethan Hubbard will take the free kick. And they'll do the switch here. As it ends up now with Fletcher Bennett inside his defensive 50. Glenorchy manning up pretty well here. Trying to stop the outlet. He cruises away to Fletcher Bennett. Short kick to Chugg. Both of them had lots of possessions in the first quarter. Chugg waits for a while. Gets tackled as he kicks by Dilger. Clash of bodies there. And is it a mark to Rickard? Umpire says no. Umpire Butler fell down heavily to Josh Rickard, the boy from Traralgon.
Have a headache after that one, I reckon.
Grooves, do you count that as an inside 50 for Glenorchy when they pass it back? You don't? No, I don't. I was unsure.
Just in the business, Dave Gruber. Right on top of things here. As comes out now towards Harper, dispossessed. Camrick working hard again. Handball, smart one, but running out of room there is Jordan Green. So there'll be a boundary throw in centre wing. 24 minutes gone, Bombers 3-4-22, and Glenorchy yet to score.
Glenorchy will be welcoming the quarter time siren just to give themselves a chance just to settle and work out what they're going to do with their defensive setup, because they've been troubled at the moment. Lee all by himself again, dominant ruckman on the ground. Bombers look to come away, bit of a jumper grab. Lee on the ground now fighting for it. Glenorchy win it in dispute, but again out to the Bombers. Stingle, I think that was that time. Back into the centre of the ground. Ball goes out wide. There's a runner there in Newitt. Looking to move it in quickly inside the 50. Cox-Goodger over his head. Boundary line might win. He scored it over the boundary line by the Glenorchy defender. It looked like, was it Thompson? Yep. So good outcome for Glenorchy. They certainly won't want to cough another goal up here, that's for sure. It's been all one-way traffic. Ball thrown in. Bombers win it down. Cox-Goodger around it to ground. Gives it off. Cox-Goodger butters up, drives it into the square. Great pressure there from the Glenorchy defender in Meredith. Escorts it through, moves it out quickly. Glenorchy moving the ball up to the centre wing. That's a really, really poor kick. And it's chopped off again by Chugg, who's been really, really busy. Declan Chugg drives it inside 50. Ball hits the ground, in dispute. Bombers have got the numbers. Quickly on the boot. Oh, they could have raffled that. That's a really, really good piece of play there from Will Harper, who picked out Harry Bales. He could have kicked it to any one of three of them, I reckon, Max, on that occasion.
Yep, and they were lining up, like you said, but Bales was the first man first man there, and I'd put this down as a goal. This should be his bread and butter, Foz.
Absolutely. Almost a set play there, wasn't it? Just to centre that ball and know that you had teammates there lining up.
Yeah, that's where they were all running to, that's for sure. There were 2 or 3 options outside of Bales. Bales moves in, straight in front, should make no mistake, and he doesn't. Right on the quarter time siren. So at quarter time, I make that, is that 4-5-29? 5-5-35 to Glenorchy 0-0-0. So as we called in that quarter, gentlemen, all one-way traffic for the Bombers. So we might cross over for the goal scorers. Thanks, Max.
Yep, no problem at all. One multiple for the game so far. The coach of the Northern Bombers, Brad Cox-Goodger, with 2, and singles to Harry Bales, who kicked that last one there, Tom Bennett and Jackie Avent. So 4 contributors on the scoreboard for the Bombers so far, which was... they'd be very happy with that quarter, and I guess Glenorchy, there was a few little positives come out of it. As we spoke about before the game, their centre clearance work. They just have to be able to build on that. They need to be able to isolate a forward coming out of that centre break that they get, so that it allows them the opportunity to take control and get it deep inside 50 to put a bit of pressure on the Bombers' backline. Speaking of the Bombers' backline, BOG at the moment, Fletcher Bennett is the new... Arian Richter Solder guy, yes, directing the traffic out there, isn't he? Not much has got past him. Then he's got some good soldiers there with him in like the likes of Stingle, who's moving on. Declan Chugg, and then Curvis giving them guidance and support and teaching the younger guys back there. So, they're looking pretty good at this stage.
Looking good, the Bombers here at quarter time. They lead 5-5-35 to Glenorchy, yet to score. We'll have groups of stats and more analysis, and also a report from Chris after these messages from City Park Radio.
We all love Launceston City Park Radio, your local radio station. If you support City Park Radio through a membership in 2022, Elgas would like to say thank you. And as a way of saying thanks, we'll take $10 off your next LPG delivery. That's right, if you have an account with Elgas, your next LPG delivery will receive $10 off if you have a 2022 membership of Launceston City Park Radio. From the smallest domestic to the largest commercial, phone your local LPG experts on 131 161 for full details. Terms and conditions apply. Elgas is a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Walking regularly to school is a great way to exercise, but until they're 10, children must always hold an adult's hand when crossing the road. Friday, 20th of May is National Walk Safely to School Day. If you can't walk all the way, combine a walk with public transport. If you must use a car, leave it a good distance from school and walk the rest of the way.
And remember, active kids are smarter kids.
Find us at walk.com.au, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
Have you considered how much your property is worth?
Or have you thought about selling or just getting a current market valuation? My name is Yvonne.
And my name is Neil. Together we are Team Hawkins at Harcourts Launceston.
Working under the Harcourts banner collectively for over 25 years, we have the experience, training and knowledge to help you get the results you are looking for.
Call us for a free appraisal today and ask to speak with Team Hawkins. Team Hawkins, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Welcome back here to UTAS Stadium. It's round 8 action of the TSL. Northern Bombers, great first quarter, 5-5-35. Glenorchy yet to score. And Dave Gruber's stats, hit outs at the moment, North Launceston 12-6. So Lee winning pretty well there. Clearances reasonably even. Glenorchy had the best of them early, winning 4-2, but now it's 7-4 the Bombers' way. Inside 50s, big disparity there. 20 entries for North Launceston that quarter to 2 for Glenorchy. 8 marks inside 50 for the Bombers to 0, and free kicks 6 apiece. So they're just dominating forward possession at the moment. Just looking down there, and Aaron Cornelius down there with the Glenorchy team. What would he be saying, Max? Whoop, I'll turn you on.
Yep, I need a bit of volume, Dave. Thank you. Yeah, look, I certainly wouldn't be saying that he's berating them or anything like that. He's a realist. He's been around for a long time. It would be all about just working on the basic things of footy. Let's get our hands on it, have someone there to support the ball carrier, feed it off, don't try and take on too many, because North, we've seen today, They're like bumblebees around a bit of honey at the moment. They're just swarming everywhere. And just composure. Don't panic. And when you do get the ball, I think a lot of clubs, they go into their shells. They're 35 points down at quarter time. So, but I hope he'd be encouraging them to say, look, don't try and go slow tempo all the time. Take it on. If you see someone that's free, get it to them and make us put a bit of pressure on them.
Well, Chris has been down at the huddle there at Glenorchy, so was Max on the mark there, Chris?
Yeah, pretty well. I was interested to hear what the Glenorchy coach was saying. He's saying go one-on-one, act individually. Also, he said learn for North Launceston. Interesting is they're looking at North to learn how they can improve themselves. Very, very measured address to these players from the Glenorchy coach. Incidentally, Glenorchy are in black armbands for Betty Brady, who's the mother of Thane Brady, president of North Launceston, who died recently. North must have worn black armbands last week for her, I guess.
I think they've got someone today, if I look closely.
Yeah, no, both sides are wearing green armbands for Umpire Appreciation Day.
Okay, good work, Chris. There you go. Okay. So that's fantastic, and we do appreciate what the umpires do. Umpire numbers are never that strong these days, so we need all the umpires we can get, and we really value what they do, don't we?
Well, what do we do? Great bunch of people. If you've got nothing to do on a Saturday and you're half fit, go and do it.
Max speaks from experience.
Footy needs you.
Okay, underway in the second quarter is Rob Soward for City Park Radio Sport.
Lee versus Brown as we started the first quarter. Lee first hand on. High tackle there. Could have been a Bombers free kick, but the umpire says no, that'll be mine and we'll go again. Umpire appreciation, very, very important, as you say. And Kevin Whisper Williams always says that when he sees me. Known to many of our listeners. Great tap out there by Lee. Ball in dispute. Glenorchy got the numbers, but no, as we've seen today, no. I'm umpiring and commentating. Glenorchy going to come away with it and hack it forward for a very rare foray, just outside 50 at the moment. Ball in dispute. Bombers defence resolute as you'd expect. A lot of pressure around the ball. Looked like Fletcher Bennett was under that. Last man up. He's been very, very good back there today. Umpire's about to ball it up just outside the Glenorchy 50. Lee versus Brown. Lee first hand on. Held up there though. Umpire say my ball. And we'll go again outside 50. Very rare foray for Glenorchy to this end of the ground. Lee, beautiful tap out, giving his on-ball his first use. Cox Goodger does that, drives it forward. Nice mark taken there. Bombers as they've done all day. Back through the middle of the ground. Harper onto the left, giving his forwards a look at it. And that's a fantastic mark taken there by Theo Ives. Almost a carbon copy, Max, of that mark he took halfway through the first quarter.
It was, Rob, and just a very smart kick there by Will Harper as well. Just pulled the ball, could have kicked it longer, but just caught him out of the corner of his eye to be able to just straighten it up a little bit, and made him work for it, but he grabbed it.
Ives about 35 metres out when he gets rid of this one. Over the man on the mark, on that left foot. He's pulled it though. Headed out towards the Railway Workers Hill, one behind. So they've missed a few opportunities, the Bombers. Ives could have had 3 or 4. He's kicked a couple of behinds, Dave.
Interesting kicking action, Max, for goal.
Yeah.
A bit of work to be done there.
Don't see too many like it, do you?
Out of bounds on the fall there from the releasing kick from Glenorchy, so it'll be a free kick. The player has to find the fence there. AFL here next week, next Sunday, the 3:20 game, Hawks versus Brisbane. And we'll be here for the curtain raiser, the Northern Bombers against Lauderdale. Should be a beauty. Great to see the TSL on the AFL day. North Launceston.
So we might have to make the AFL guys fight us for the equipment. We could be calling that one too.
Yeah, the planes get delayed or something. As Avent swings towards goal. And that's a nice mark almost by Brom for Glenorchy. Snap by Newitt. It's offline. Gee, probably had a bit more time than he thought there, Isaac Newitt. 5:7:37. Yet to score Glenorchy. Matt Joseph, premiership player with Glenorchy. It's going to emerge now from the goal square. Spots up a player, does pretty well, finds Roach. Liam Roach. It's on his bike straight away. It's not about kicking towards the big fella in Brown. It clears him. Mopping up is Nankervis. Sideways handball to Bennett. Ducks back inside, looks for Stingle, and takes the mark. Defensive side of the centre square. Resolute across that half-back line again. The Northern Bombers. Stingall takes off to Nan Curvis. Overlap over the top. Finds Van Dam. Oscar Van Dam kicks inside 50. Beautifully weighted kick. Finds Jacko Vent. Gee, I've been impressed with the Northern Bombers kicking today, Max.
Yeah, they haven't missed too many targets, but it just, when there's space in front of them, it just makes it look so easy to be able to run onto the ball like Avent did then.
Gets it to Cox Goodger, who marks. 35 out. Tough angle on the left-hand side for a left footer. But he's presented now quite a few times inside that attacking 50. He's just too quick off the mark. Pretty fit at the moment, Brad Cox Goodger. We know he's had a few injury troubles the last couple of years, but just at the moment he's moving really well, covering the ground nicely. In he comes. And he's crossed the face on this occasion. Is that a mark? No, it's out of bounds on the full. And Isaac Manson will take the free kick in the back pocket.
Manson looking for his options, of which there aren't many at the moment. He's going to come back here to towards us. A little short kick taken there by Joseph, Matty Joseph. Beats everyone. Ball in dispute on the wing. Cleaned up again by Bennett. We've called him a lot today. Van Dam looking for an option inside. That's a great smother. An unintentional one, I think, probably. By, was that Brown?
Yeah, Dominic Brown.
Yeah, he an unintentional one. He got his head in the wrong place. But saved the goal, I'd say, there. The Bombers were streaming forward. Ball thrown in. That's 65 metres out from the Bombers' goal. Lee, as he's done all day, been very good, although advantage played there. Cox Goodger. Ball moving forward. Ives escorted over the boundary line. I think it was a holding free kick in the ruck contest, I think the umpire called, and waved advantage as the Bombers, through the agency of Cox Goodger, another inside 50. Ball thrown in just round from the behind post, deep into their obviously attacking end of the ground. Ball goes up. Ives looks like he's in the contest there. Glenorchy come away, had the numbers around the ball, high kick. Bombers got the numbers here, and that's a really, really nice mark taken there by Lockie Mitchell. Mitchell looking to move it on quickly, comes out towards us and finds Stingle, goes straight through his hands. Stingle tries to pick up, ball a bit slippery, butters up, beats a tackle, goes again. Out to Lee. Lee drives it inside 50, another inside 50 for the Bombers. Well manned up though, Glenorchy had the numbers, looks like they're going to come away with it. Subterranean, Camrick had it, lost it. Bombers pressure, fantastic pressure there. Another inside 50. Oh, could have got a free kick. Cox Goodger, the recipient of the ball. Oh, just threw it on the boot. Glenorchy hacking it out, trying to clear the area, which they will now. They've got the numbers. It's like Camrick on the far side, kicks to no one in particular. Open space. I'm thinking that will be insufficient intent. And absolutely picked it, that one.
But that's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
As a coach, you'd be extremely happy with the way they defended then, and to get the ball to half forward and give away a free kick, it allowed them to set up again and should be one-on-one.
Van Dam takes the mark. It's away now to Chug. Little kick over the top. Up here towards Skipper. Takes it over the back. Debutant from last game. 2 games ago, I beg your pardon. Tackle laid there on Harper. Glenorchy working overtime. And they might force a stoppage here as the Glenorchy players tackled by 2 or 3 Bombers. 5-7-37. Glenorchy get to score. See the scoreboard there in the background of the stream. Mr. City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. And via the TSL live stream. They forced it outside defensive 50 of the Pies. Plenty of Bombers there. Sulzberger. It's the handball away, but the kick spills out of bounds on the full. Inside 50 this quarter, 7-0.
They're just under siege, Dave, aren't they?
They're not able to string possessions together. That's what strikes me, is that they're always under pressure. See what they can do here. Matty Joseph kicks it out of defence. Lee Flang, first, second grab, couldn't take the mark. Adam Roberts kicks it forward. Pretty barren forward 54, the Glenorchy Magpies at the moment. Here comes through Stingle from Hubbard. Stingle waits a while. And then gets caught holding the ball. Unlucky there. Over the head handball. Richard Dilger's got it. Now a chance for the Pies. So all the handball to Roberts. Puts him under all sorts of pressure. Somehow gets away to Camrick. Back to Dilger. Second opportunity. Mark taken here by Callum Thompson. He goes wider to Manson, but they're not gaining any ground. Manson does have a bit of space now though. He does kick it inside 50. Over the head there of the player Matthew McInnes. And they're deep inside attacking 50. Chance for a score. Because they have not hit the scoreboard yet. And we are 8.5 minutes into the second quarter. Just need a quick goal here just to get their day moving. McInnes and Lee in the ruck contest. Lee front position, taps it down, chance here, Miles kicks it out of bounds on the full. Just got pushed at the last moment at Brody Miles. Sorry, Jack Miles that is. Gets up limping. Jack Miles played for Guildford Young College during the week against St Patrick's.
Point. He ran through the points because he went out of bounds, so he played on through the points, which then means it is a point. Learn the rules, young man.
First score on the board to the Magpies. Move the ball out to the Bombers. And they're looking to set up another attack through Harper. Harper beats Bennett over his head. Ball's coming back this way. Glenorchy got the numbers around. That's a fantastic intercept there from Skipper. Kicks it inside 50. Pearce leading in the race to the ball unselfishly. Shoots it out there. And that's a fantastic goal to Will Manshandon. Really unselfish play there from Nathan Pearce. Could have run in and attacked the goals himself, but found the player in Manshandon who was probably in a better position, less pressure. A nice easy one for the Bombers, but just that slingshot defence, wasn't it, Max? Moved it out quickly out of defence, and Glenorchy having no answer to that quick ball movement.
No, they didn't drop, and when Pearce's immediate opponent there, I think it was Will Brom, went to ground, I thought, hello, Pearce will just run straight into a goal here, but he always seems to be able to get to the ground himself for some reason, Pearce. He doesn't keep his feet as well as what I'd like to see him do, but he recovered, and little flick over to Will Manshandon for his first.
Chris on the boundary.
I was just going to say, Will Manshandon came off a little while ago with a sore right thigh. They strapped him up pretty tightly, hit it with the magic spray, spent a few minutes on the bench, went back on the ground, and there you go.
I wouldn't mind some of that magic spray.
That's his first goal in senior footy too, I think, for Will Manshandon, so congratulations. Magpies now deep in attack. They've got an opportunity. Declan Chugg breaks a few tackles, gets it to Ann Curvis, kicks smothered, working hard. There might be a push in the back, I think. It'll go the Pies' way. Young Matthew McInnes, the number 40. Opportunity here to kick a goal for Glenorchy. They've had a bad quarter. They've only conceded the one goal in the first 11 minutes. And this will be a real confidence boost for the Pies. So McInnes, not a difficult shot, 45-degree angle, 25 out, comes in, and he misses. That's one they really should have got, Max.
When you haven't scored in 40 minutes of footy, you've got to make sure that you gobble them up, guys, don't you?
Ethan Hubbard clears out of defence. Ahern takes a good mark. Impressive young player. Favour that left boot. Cruises off the mark. Runs full measure. Kicks towards half forward. Ball drops short. Well taken by Bennett. Oh, Pearce has got a mile of latitude here. He'll take it, he'll kick, and he'll go. Easy as you like, Nathan Pearce. How did he get off the leash? Question has to be asked. But easy as you like, from full back to full forward after that behind from Glenorchy. Nathan Pearce kicks his first for the day.
Bit of a training drill, that one, guys, just from end to end, basically. Just didn't even look like touching the ball then, Glenorchy, in that passage of play.
Yeah, it's obviously a concern. Dave made the call about how impressive that'd be to restrict them, but you've got to wonder, Max, as you called earlier in the game, how long you can do that for.
They've got a luxury at the moment too, Max, of playing Nathan Pearce inside 50 and giving a young bloke like Skipper a run.
It's a beautiful tap down from Lee. Ball's inside 50 again for the Bombers. Oh, unlucky there. Could have been a mark, but just grasped it. Glenorchy defenders getting around it. I think it's going to be a ball up. Could have been unlucky there, Glenorchy. They might have snagged the holding the ball one, but no. Ball inside the Bombers 50 where it's lived for most of the day. Lee, again, the dominant ruckman on the ground, as you'd expect from the captain. He's been terrific. Bombers' pressure's fantastic. They're looking to get the ball back into the middle of the ground. It's come back out towards us at the moment. Beats everyone. Stingle sets it up beautifully back into the middle of the ground. That's a nice mark there taken by Bales. Drives it inside 50. Glenorchy going to chop it off. The Bombers' pressure is relentless around the footy. Glenorchy coming away with it. Player down in back play. I think he's okay. It's beautifully stripped there. Bombers getting their hands in, driving it inside 50 again. One out. Beats everyone. Ives was busy. Glenorchy again just trying to stem the tide. Quick throw onto the boot. Was that man Shandon?
Yep.
Just missed. Could have had his second goal in a couple of minutes. But the Bombers' pressure is just relentless around the footy. Glenorchy just under siege, and you get the impression you just can't do that. They cannot withstand that for 4 quarters.
Josh Arnold from fullback takes off. Lovely long kick inside the centre square. Young Atkin couldn't quite get there. Over the back. Taken by Hubbard. Lovely possession there. Kick sideways to Chugg. Kick was weighted immaculately. Chugg now, inside 50. Plenty of marking targets. Harper might have been pushed out of the contest. Over the back. Taken by Roach. He just slams on the boot. Kicks it straight to Lee on attacking 50. Now Alex Lee. Has he got the journey in him, Max, do you think, from there?
I wouldn't have thought so.
He plays on. He goes for it. Falls short. Mark. Top of the goal square.
Bales. Harper.
Will Harper takes a strong mark. Hasn't kicked one yet today.
Hard ball to grab that too.
Yep.
Not spinning correctly, coming decent pace straight at your head.
Got great instincts, Will Harper. I coached him as a junior and certainly didn't teach him much because he had those natural instincts that we crave as a footballer.
Will Harper, 15 out, directly in front. Comes in and slams it through for a goal. That's their 8th, the Bombers. 8-8-56. Glenorchy 2 behinds, 2 points. And I keep going on about the skill level of North Launceston, but just that kick there earlier over towards Declan Chugg. Just, it's not the stars that are disposing the ball well, it's these young players, Maxie.
Yeah, and it's a great, I guess, confidence builder too to be doing it at senior level and probably having 60 to 70% pressure put on them rather than 80 to 90 against, or 100% that you're going to get for the Launceston type clubs against you. Interesting footnote on young Will Harper, grandson of Hawthorn Premiership player Bruce Stevenson.
Okay, there you go. With the footy pedigree, and he took a bag of goals for the Scotch in a state final a few years ago. Rob, he was still involved in?
He certainly did, yes. Free kick to the Northern Bombers. Lee is going to get it back. No, he's not. It's out there to Hubbard. Stingle and Hubbard, the twins. Nice kick there again, back towards the middle. They love work in the middle. Ball's come out to Fletcher Bennett. Nice mark, looking to play on quickly. Ball's headed back inside 50 again through Jack Ahern. Ball in dispute. Glenorchy getting the numbers around it, trying to hold it up. Bombers come away. Oh, Bombers come away with it there. Josh Rickard had acres of space and time, but rushed it and missed something he probably should have converted. Anyway, another behind there to the Bombers. They move through to 8-9-57. Glenorchy 0-2-2.
Josh Arnold cruised out of the square. He's going to go to this side to be close to the boundary line. Knocked away from Liam Roach there by the Bombers. Boundary throw in. So we've got a great position here at UTAS Stadium, but just in that little pocket there, just Gribbs and I are the only ones that can really see what's going on. That's okay.
We hope there's not mark of the day or goal of the day or fight of the day down there, Foss.
Boundary throw in. And we've got a ruck infringement. It's going to go the way of Alex Lee. For Dave Gruber, some stats inside 50, 14-2 this quarter. And the clearance is still the Pies' way. They're 4-3. Kick inside 50, up there towards Newitt. Passes over his head, and there's another behind. 8-10-58 to 2 behinds, 2 points. Half time, we're going to talk to a member of the AFL Task Force, Julie Kay. Talk about the Believe Tasmanian website and video that's been released. And, see how that campaign is going as Josh Arnold goes towards the boundary line. Mark taken by Roberts. Adam Roberts kicks up the wing. Gee, that's not a bad mark over there. I think that's young Asher Atkin.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. He kicks towards half forward. Chance here for the Pies. Over the back. Geared was there. Player taking a tackle there was Chugg. Emerges, then Curvis to Bales. Back to Nankervis. By hand now, onwards to Avent, who's had 100 possessions today. Now to Manshandon. Lovely kick finds Rickard. Rickard 40 out, torpedo towards goal. Not a great kick. Knocked away from the contest there by Josh Meredith. And he forced through through for a behind. 8:11:59 to 2 behinds. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Call the locals with knowledge. Phone 131-161. Rob.
Couple of quick kicks from Glenorchy back into the centre square as they look to clear it out and set up. Bombers, as they've done all day, numbers around the footy. Unlucky not to get a free kick there. Glenorchy under a ton of pressure. McInnes quickly on the boot and inside 50. Bombers with numbers. 3 or 4 players there coming out towards us. Van Dam, great mark. Looks to move it on quickly, which he does. Nice pass taken there by Manshandon. Manshandon goes inside 50. Tommy Bennett. Nice marking just inside the 50 arc. 50.
Yeah, he was dealt with after he took the mark, Rob.
That was the blind spot we mentioned before there, Dave. But
against Will Brom.
But again, as we've seen all day, you've highlighted it, guys, in your commentary, almost like a training drill, moving it from one end of the ground to the other. Unfortunate free kick to give away there. And Tom Bennett will be from point-blank range when he addresses the ball. And he ploughs that through the middle for a goal. So Glenorchy promising movement inside 50, couple of disposals, a nice mark to Bennett, and it's a goal.
Yeah, look, when Northern Bombers just set up a line of players, they knew that Glenorchy were going to get a kick under pressure inside 50. They were there ready for it, and they swept it away.
Yep, and it's the way that they've been able to do that. A lot of that line of players that you're talking about, they're all young, inexperienced guys as well. So, you know, your Hubbards, your Conor Leafling's back there at the moment. Fletcher Bennett, who's probably got 50-odd games under his belt now. Interestingly, starting in the square as a fullback at the moment. But, it all... An attack does start from defence, doesn't it?
Nick Butler, the umpire throws it up. One tap there by Lee. Falls to Pearce. Handball to Blade Sulzberger. He's been pretty good today. Up here towards Hearn in the contest. Knocked away from him in defence. There by Roach. So it's a contested ball at half forward now for the Bombers. So inside 56, inside 50 marks this quarter for North Launceston. What was in the first quarter groups? 8, I think. So 14 over the day to 0. Marks inside 50. It's been dominant. Look at 9 goals. They probably should have kicked more. 9 goals, 11. Here come the Pies now. Attacking side of the wing, Leaf Lang. He nearly took the mark, but he got a free kick for over the shoulder against John Geard. And we've got a bit of a dust up here at half forward. Jackie Avent involved. Josh Whitford with the tattoos. They separate now. So what's going to happen here? It's going to be a free kick up the field to Avent. So 2 kicks out from goal. Big game last week and lots of possessions again today. Jack Avent. Kicks inside 50, 20 out from goal. Spills. Cox Goodger gets tackled. Still a chance for the Bombers. Good defence there from Glenorchy. You can tell I've been watching basketball. I just said defence instead of defence. Speaking of basketball, Max, how about those jack jumpers?
Done a very, very, very good job, didn't they?
Absolutely. I'm wearing the Guernsey today. As up it goes. Nice shark there from Cox Goodger. He's tackled a second time. We're still about 15 metres out from the Northern Bombers goal.
Lost to our radio listeners, though, Max. I walked in, I thought Josh Majette was here today calling, but no, it was Foz.
He's one of your faves.
Proudly representing the team.
From the ruck contest, Liam Brown gets it down. Ooh, tough contest. Jack Avent lays a tackle. It's not Jack Avent. He was one of those lesser lights, Max, wasn't he, in the days of Ponting and Whitford, etc. But now he's really stepped up to an elite midfielder.
Yep, well, he's had to, hasn't he, Dave?
Yep.
Like he was 3rd or 4th in line when you had Pontings and Whitfords and all those here, but now he's number 1, number 2 for him.
Camrick clears it out towards Lockie Mitchell on the wing. It beats him over the boundary line. So we've been playing 23 minutes into the second quarter, and it's the Bombers 65 to Glenorchy 2.
Crude boundary line almost won. It was a crude effort there from the Glenorchy player just as it was going over. He's got a free kick, and the Bombers looking to head inside 50 again. Long leg, ball in the air. Glenorchy got the numbers around the ball though. They pushed extra players back just to try and stem the bleeding. So It was a nice inside 50 entry there from Bales. He's been pretty good for him today. Ball goes up inside 50. Ives was in that one. Bombers trying to set something up. Legged. Cox Goodger, no. Pierce. Ball's coming back out. Glenorchy heading out towards us. 3-on-1. The ever reliable Nankervis comes down with it. Fletcher Bennett been good today. By hand back to Nankervis. Boundary line wins out.
Well done, Matthew McInnes. He was 1 against 3. A couple of hard efforts and he caused a stoppage.
He certainly did. It was a terrific effort from him. He really saved the Bombers heading forward with that. They were looking ominous. Throw in on the wing. Lee pushes Brown under it, comes down with it. Should be a mark here to Glenorchy. And it was under a lot of pressure, I might add, from Rickard. It's a nice mark there to, was it Matthew Joseph? Matthew Joseph in the long sleeves. Heads back to the middle to Brown. Pressure from Lee. Beats everyone the ball. Moved on quickly from Stingle. Ball goes forward. Bales, we've called him a bit, and that's it. Oh, I thought that was almost a mark, but no. Ives, beaten to it by the Glenorchy defender, who's pumped it out quickly. Slippery ball means no mark. Bombers trying to fashion something here. Quick kick, back into the danger zone. Pierce, 2-on-1. Glenorchy going to come away. Bombers' pressure is amazing. Hands on the ball, trying to move it around, trying to find an option. Pierce on the boots. Going to miss everything and out on the full, but really dynamic play there, Max, from the Bombers. Look, hands, feet, just getting numbers around it, trying to fashion something.
It's just their second and third efforts at the moment that are really hurting Glenorchy.
As Will Brom takes the mark, 20 metres out from his defensive goal. Takes off, kicks towards the wing here, looking for Richard Dilger. Bounces away from him. I'll tell you what too, they talk about Western Bulldogs' quick hands in the middle there before Northern Bombers. Just 5 or 6 really quick exchanges of handballs, great understanding.
Fantastic. They're like a footy factory, aren't they? Every year we call different names. The guys that go to the country, new guys step up.
Lee wins the tap. Avent again. Gee, he would have had about 20 possessions in this first half. Kicks towards full forward. Off the contest there. Brown is shifted out of the way by Cox Goodger, who snaps and misses. 9 goals, 12-66. North Launceston, Glenorchy 2 behinds, 2 points. 26 minutes gone. So 5 goals to 0 at quarter time. Just conceded the 4 goals, Glenorchy. Probably should have kicked 1 or 2 themselves. Just an easy one through Matthew McInnes. Joseph now. Going to come here to the RACT stand side of the ground. Here looking for Brown, but Lee, better judgment, more experience there on that occasion, takes the mark. Pumps it back inside 50, looking for Lee. Front position. Nice spoil come there from Isaac Manson. Only as far as Blade Sulzberger. Wants to get on that left boot, he does now. Snaps, falls short. Isaac Newitt takes the mark. 20 out, slide angle. So Isaac Newitt, been impressive since debuting. Another one of these youngsters from the Northern Bombers. Right place, right time there. And he comes for their 10th goal, right on half time. Keeps it low. And he slotted it through as Isaac Newitt. 10-12-72. They're out by 70 points now, the Northern Bombers. Glenorchy 2 behinds, 2 points. And nice conversion there from Isaac Newitt. Blade Sulzberger, I think he might have had a bit to do him in his junior days there, Max. He's another one, some of those other players have left, has now stepped up and is spending a lot of time on ball. He's out of the Devils program, but playing some good senior footy.
Yeah, took himself a little bit of time to just adjust to it and I guess find the right spot for Blade as well. As a junior, he played a lot on the wing and on the ball, but he's finding a bit of consistency at senior level now, so it's good for him and good for the club.
Dad played for a long time, Lilydale Footy Club.
Still does, I think.
Still does, okay.
We're back in the middle. Brown first hand on, but Cox Goodger takes it away. Bombers again streaming forward, giving their forwards first look. Tom Bennett over his head. Glenorchy scrambling around, trying to get it out. Great tackle, great pressure again from the Bombers. A hand pass to no one there from the Glenorchy defender. Ball's going to beat everyone over the boundary line. They just run forward in waves, the Bombers. You know, they look really fit, and particularly on this big ground, giving themselves every opportunity to create something and get that out number.
22 inside 50s to 3 this quarter.
Liam Brown in the ruck. All they want to draw. Quick hands out from the Bombers. Will Harper, handball back into trouble. Could have been a free kick there. Great pressure from the Bombers. Glenorchy really trying to get that out of there. Camrick, handball. He's going to get it back with a 1-2. Ball misses him. Siren beats everyone as we head into half-time. The Northern Bombers, 10 goals, 12 behind, 72 points. Glenorchy, 2 behinds, 2 max. Lots to do. The understatement of the day. Lots to do for Glenorchy in the second half.
There certainly is, Rob, and they'll certainly be looking forward to the 15-minute or so break that they've got to just regroup, set themselves a couple of goals for this second half, and just to just try and be a little bit more competitive than what they have been on the scoreboard as well as on the ground. You can't question their endeavour, just like then that passage of play on the far side with involved Ben Camrick, who's one of their on-field leaders, and he was trying to get guys involved in it, but just the skill level lets them down a little bit under that pressure.
Max, the goal kickers?
Yep, for the goal kickers, multiple so far, 2 to Tom Bennett, 2 to Brad Cox-Goodger, singles to Nathan Pearce, Harry Bales, Will Harper, Jack Avent, Isaac Newton and Will Manshanden, one as well, and no one has troubled the scorer for the Pies as yet.
Dave Gruber's stats to half-time, the hit-outs, it's won by North Launceston, although Glenorchy won their fair share there. It's 23 to 15, so a couple of young players there, Liam Brown and McInnes have done a pretty good job. Clearances, once again, not that one-sided. It was 9 to 6 the Bombers' way that quarter, 16 to 10 overall. The likes of Camrick, of course, have done pretty well around the stoppages. The inside 50s is the stark one, really. 42 to 5 to half-time, 22 to 3 in that quarter. Marks inside 50, 15 to 0 over the day, 7 in that quarter for the Bombers. Free kicks pretty even, 12 to the Bombers and 11 to Glenorchy. Half-time, Northern Bombers 10-12, 72, Glenorchy 2 behinds, 2 points. Early AFL score, Rob?
Early AFL score, 18 minutes gone into the first quarter. Groobs isn't going to be happy with this. Richmond 2-3-15, Hawks 1-3-9.
It's early days.
Early days.
We'll take a break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll have the member of the AFL Task Force, Julie Kay.
L-Gas is the smart choice. Make the switch and be rewarded with $80 in LPG account credits when you sign up. Visit the website lgas.com.au or give us a call on 131 161.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
The 60s.
The 70s. Enjoy 2 hours of the best in classic rock.
On Real and in the Years. Saturdays from 5 on City Park Radio.
Thinking Tasmania. Think Tassie Tyres and Mechanical. Our range is as diverse as the Tasmanian terrain, and our tyres are selected and tested for Tasmanian roads and conditions. From daily driving or highway touring to adventuring off-road. Thinking about quality and value for money. Think Tassie Tyres. Proudly Tasmanian owned and operated. We won't be beaten on price and offer zip money and afterpay. Conditions apply. Tassie Tyres and Mechanical. Hobart Road, Kings Meadows.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to Tasmanian State League Football on City Park Radio.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium at half-time. It's the Bombers 10-12, 72. Glenorchy 2 behinds, 2 points. Of course, in the news lately has been the feats of the Jack Jumpers, our Tasmanian basketball team, but now that season's over. We're turning our attention towards the Tassie AFL team, and it's getting to that crunch time with only about 8 weeks to go till the decision is made, and we welcome a member of the AFL Task Force, Julie Kay, also president of the Lauderdale Footy Club, who I think is down at King. Are you there, Julie? You're down at Kingborough there today?
I am down here. Yeah, the sun's just come out.
Oh, lovely. It's a bit rainy here. You got an early score for us?
Yes, Kingborough have kicked 3 quick goals.
Ooh.
And We haven't scored yet.
Okay. I'm sure you'll work your way back into it.
It's only just been going a few minutes.
That's all right. Hey, Julie, the Believe Tasmanian campaign has started. The countdown to the decision of an AFL team for Tasmania. It's come out with a great new video and also an opportunity for people to lend their support. So a pretty exciting adventure.
Yes, it is. So we've been working on this campaign for a number of months now, and we've got to. If people have had a look at the video, that's available online, and that's showing all sorts of the iconic places of Tasmania with a young girl running through with a football, and I guess that we're talking about generational change for that. So that's the and the other part of it is we want people to be a game changer and to be a believer and to go onto the website and register their interest. It doesn't cost anything, but we're just wanting to give the AFL one last message that give it to us and we'll make it work.
And on the front page of today's 3 Tasmanian papers, The Advocate, The Mercury and The Examiner, we saw all 3 political leaders there lending their support. How important is it to have all parties on board with the push for an AFL team?
Oh, well, I mean, really that's what the AFL would require, is ongoing government support, and it's bipartisan agreement. So I just think it's fantastic that I guess all the parties have looked at particular, if you look at the Jack Jumpers franchiser model, it's pretty clear that Tasmania, once we're all together and actually we have a team that represents our state, then we all come together, and I think and that includes the political parties, which is fantastic.
My co-commentators today are Rob and Michael. So, Rob, you got a question for Julie? Whoop.
Thanks, Julie, and thanks for all your efforts on that committee. It's terrific. And I was just going to pick up that point you made and ask the question. We just talked about the political...
I'm losing you a little bit, guys.
Sorry? You got me now?
Yeah, a little bit. You might have to speak up a little bit.
Okay, no worries. That's right. Dave's turned the volume up. So I was just going to focus on the point you made around the Jack Jumpers. We've talked about the political will, the cooperation there. Tell us how important it is, Julie, that all parts of the state work together for this Tasmanian side.
Oh, well, I mean, for us, that's the bottom line. The task force really did a lot of work around all parts of Tasmania, and there seems to be a bit of a myth out there that, there's north-south divide, all those kinds of things. But when the questions were asked of everyone in all corners of the state, they all said, we need a Tasmanian team. So I think we debunked that kind of myth right from the word go. And the Jack Jumpers, I guess, franchise has been a perfect example of what can happen when the whole state gets behind something. Despite the fact that played all their games in Hobart, it didn't make any difference.
Yeah, I think just picking that point up before I throw back to my other commentators, Julie, I think that fact that even though the bulk of the games, as you say, were in Hobart, they were so visible across the state, coaching clinics, development clinics, pre-season games. They did play a couple of games here in Launceston. So as you say, just that presence is so important. So thanks again for all your efforts, and we look forward to people jumping on board.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that by August we can all celebrate.
Hi, Julie. Michael here. Thanks for joining us today. Just a question. Let's fast forward 5 or 6 years, and we've got a licence. And what does local community footy look like in 5 or 6 years' time when we've got a Tasmanian team in the main AFL comp of Australia? What's the vision of participation, levels of different organisations, how the competitions are structured and so forth?
Well, that's a really, really good question. I think there will be some major changes across football in Tasmania, and there needs to be, in terms of grassroots football support. Sport in schools is going to be a major player, which is not the case at the moment. So there are a whole lot of different things that'll transpire. Of course, I don't know what the model will look like. I know there's a lot of work being done, particularly by Alistair Clarkson, around an academy model. That's worked very, very well for Sydney and GWS. So I think that the books are still open, and there'll be a lot of community and competition input around that.
There'll certainly be a lot of change required. For argument's sake, if there was a game at Belrive or UTAS or wherever it is today of AFL, the collaboration between the STFL or the NTFA or whatever to encourage people to get it. Like you look at in the bigger cities, they still have their state leagues running on AFL game day and their regional suburban football, but they've got the capacity to do that with the population base. Whereas here, if there was a game at York Park today, for example, of Hawthorn versus Tasmania or whatever, we would hope that we would see the local competitions enabling enough people to get to those games. So it's going to require a lot of flexibility and a huge way to change how football is structured in Tassie, because it might mean that the senior comp's going to play on a Sunday, which means that clubs are going to miss out on their bar trade and all that type of thing. But everyone's got to accept that if we get a Tasmanian team, the whole concept of playing footy in Tasmania is going to change.
Yeah, that's right. So once we enter it, we'll have at least 10 or 11 home games. So, and hopefully, once COVID has settled down a lot, we'll have plenty of notice about what that looks like. But I think everybody's got to understand that for this to happen and be successful, there will need to be some changes. And really, you've only just got to look sometimes at some of the results and clubs not coping with the current situation, that things can only improve. For example, Glenorchy wasn't able to field a development league team today up in Launceston. So, you know, those examples of clubs struggling at the grassroots level, I think, is something that will have to change and will change, because there'll be lots of resources coming into the state as a result of getting the licence, and there will be a new model of football.
Julie, how does this 8 weeks now look for you and the task force? How often are you meeting? What sort of things are you working on in this, as I say, in this crucial period leading up to the vote?
Okay, so some crucial people that are in Melbourne are spending a fair bit of time talking to all the presidents, although I don't think we've got to convince too many of them. I think they understand that it's inevitable and it needs to happen. They will also be meeting with the government and the AFL, because we've just put one proposal to them around government support, so they'll be just honing in on the final details that's going to be needed to be sent to the club.
And how confident are you, Julie?
Oh, I'm pretty confident.
Fantastic.
It's now or never.
Well, that's the theme of the latest campaign, isn't it? The people have to realise that this could be the last time that we get an opportunity to gain entry.
Well, I think it's pretty clear over time that the AFL have dropped the ball in Tasmania, as seen by lots and lots of not so good outcomes. So I think this is the opportunity for them to right the wrong in their wisdom over the years. And we've made an incredible contribution to football the last 100 years, and I would certainly expect that we can make a bigger contribution for the next 100 years.
Julie, is any part of the discussion that you've had centred on a 20th team? I mean, a lot of people say, look, if we're going to go to 19, we should go to 20. Is that part of the discussion at all, or are you totally focused on being that 19th licence?
Yeah, that's what we're focused on. I know that the Northern Territory are pretty keen, but I think that's a bit down the track. They're not as far along with the planning of all that as we are. So that could be something, but it's certainly not been an issue as far as we're concerned. Because, it can happen. There's no earthly reason why. We've had uneven numbers of teams in the competition before, and it didn't create any issues at all. So,
Julie, my final question is sort of a personal one. What's the experience been like for you being on the AFL task force in these last 2 or 3 years?
Very interesting.
Do you feel like you're part of history?
I do feel a little bit like that, but I probably won't feel like that until we get a result. But the people that I've been working with are very astute business people with incredible experience at the AFL level and in business. I was able to provide some local knowledge and get some local people involved, and I was heavily involved in the making of the commercial and a whole lot of other things, not starring in it, mind you, but getting people lined up to be part of it. So it's been a big learning curve for me and given me a real understanding about how AFL football operates in Australia. Yeah, very interesting.
Fantastic. Well, the umpires are coming back out here, Julie, so that we congratulate you on your work you've done with the task force, a very important role to give that local knowledge, and all the best in the next 8 weeks.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thanks,
Bye.
Julie.
Thanks there to Julie Kay, the president of the Lauderdale Footy Club and also on the AFL task force. As I said, the umps are out. The margin here is 70 points at half-time the Bombers' way. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll set the scene for the second half.
When it comes to your home or your local business, L-Gas is the smart choice. Make the switch and be rewarded with $80 in LPG account credits when you sign up. Whether it's cooking, hot water or heating, L-Gas has got you covered. For $80 in LPG account credits, visit the website lgas.com.au, download the L-Gas app or give us a call on 131 161. L-Gas. Local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see City Park Radio's fundraising screening of Bohemian Rhapsody, the stunning movie that tells the story of Queen and Freddie Mercury. At the Star Theatre in Vermey, 6:30pm Monday, May 23rd. Just $25 including pre-screening drink. Anyway the wind blows, make sure you get your ticket today. Contact the station during business hours. Don't miss it. Bohemian Rhapsody at the Star Theatre May 23rd. A special movie fundraiser for City Park Radio.
Barrett's Music is proud to support music in Tasmania in many forms. In fact, we've been supporting music in our community for decades. We value music participation in Tassie, so we can help you get started with expert advice on hand. With a wide range of instruments in stock, plus great learning resources and interest-free purchase plans, we can help you discover the music in you. Call into Barrett's at 104 George Street, Launceston, or phone 6331 9355. Barrett's Music, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football, on City Park Radio.
Welcome back here to UTAS Stadium. It's half-time. Bombers 72, Glenorchy 2. Chris Sayers down there on the surface. What do you got for us at half-time, Chris?
This rain is just sort of hanging around. Well, if you call it rain, it's more like mizzle, I suppose. So it's not really raining. So it's sort of, it's not that bad. The lights are on. Breeze is still blowing to the southern end. I had a quick chat with North Launceston President Thane Brady in the half-time break. He was very touched that Glenorchy are wearing black armbands for his mum. He was very touched by that. We had a chat about Leo Ives. Very impressed with his confidence over the last few weeks. He's many young players in North Launceston's lineup, but they're very happy with the way Theo Ives is progressing. And I see the Ives family over here in the grandstand. His granddad is Don Ives, the famous jazz piano player.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that's his granddad.
There you go.
No injuries on either side to report.
Thanks, Chris. And surface conditions?
Yeah, it's good. It's, as I said, it's constantly wet, but it's not raining wet, so it's just like a heavy dew, I guess.
I can see the windsock over there just extending a bit further than it was pre-game, so a bit of a swirly breeze.
Yeah, it's gusting as well, so it'll gust for a few seconds or minutes and then die down again. So just one of those nuisance breezes, but it is favouring the southern end.
Thanks, Chris. We'll talk to you again at three-quarter time.
Okay.
That's Chris Sayer, our boundary rider down there on UTAS Stadium. Players taking up their positions. Now, what do you think is going to transpire, Maxie?
Oh, look, I've got a very important comment to make beforehand. If anyone's on Instagram, if you can follow the Banff_Bisons, BANFF _Bisons, BISONS, AFL team competing in Canada. My son's over there working at the moment, and he'll be pulling on the boots. They were supposed to play this Saturday, but the ground was double booked apparently. So their next game is their first game is the 28th of May. So get on to Instagram and follow them. I'd love some support from Tassie or wherever you're listening. And to get back to the original question, Dave, what do we see in the second half? I want to see Glenorchy. I've said it a few times when teams have been this far behind in different games throughout the course of the last 2 or 3 years. Like what Chris said, Cornelius' message at quarter time. Be yourself, play normal footy, I'd like to see him not so much try and run and carry, but try and get some deep entries into the 50. They win the inside ball and the clearances from the middle. That should allow them to do it.
Third quarter action, City Park Radio, Rob Sowett.
Lee versus Brown in the centre of the ground. Lee first hand on. Bombers into attack. Great tackle all around the football there. Great pressure around the football there, I should say, from Glenorchy. What do you got for us, Dave?
Round the grounds, the Tigers 5-4-34. Lauderdale yet to score, but we know games down at Twin Overs can be breeze affected, so we'll keep our powder dry till half time on that one.
Ball up again, just to the right of the circle. Cox Goodger comes away. Could have been pinged there. Tommy Bennett takes it out of the air. Running shot, was that Harper? Sulzberger. Missed the lot out on the full off that left boot. So early doors and Bombers into attack already.
One for Chris on the boundary. I just noticed one of the Glenorchy guys has got the jacket on already, Chris. He was getting some treatment on his back just before half-time, so it looks like he's called it a day. I'm not quite sure who it actually is, though.
Give Chris a couple minutes to work that one out, then we'll get back to him. Switching kick from Lee to the Leaf flang. Nice releasing handball now to Chug. Throws on the boot inside 50 towards Pearce. He takes the mark, leading out from the forward pocket. 45 out, 45-degree angle. Sharp work there by the Bombers youngsters again. Leaf flang and Chug involved. And sets up a scoring opportunity for Nathan Pearce. One goal today, Max, so far for Nathan?
Correct, one in the second.
Yep, so he's lining up for the first score, potentially, of this second half. Nathan Pearce, lovely kick, will drift back nicely for a goal. And the Bombers are up and away in the second half, 11-12-78. Glenorchy 2 behind, 2 points. And once again, Max, good lead-up play by the Northern Bombers youngsters.
Yeah, it was just, again, sharing the ball. No one trying to be the superstar out there. They know they've all got a role to play. And if you're hot or if you're not in the right spot, you don't get the ball.
So Liam Brown down there, who's hobbling somewhat.
I certainly can't afford to lose him, as we've noted. He's battled really well today against Alex Lee.
Young Liam Roach, number 44, is in the ruck now. He might be down a soldier or two. We'll ask Chris to investigate that for us. Back in the middle.
Lee first hand on, much bigger body. Cox Goodger holding up the Glenorchy advance. Ball in dispute, trying to tow it off the ground. Glenorchy coming away with it there. The ruckman butted up. Bombers getting numbers around the footy though. Scrambly play. Kemrick comes away with it with Glenorchy. Pumps it inside 50. Bounces off Bennett's chest. Battling it for around 50. Good play there from Glenorchy. Gets a look at it. Heads out towards Brown. Or Atkin, sorry, that is. No, out on the full. The boundary line's beating him. Atkin was trying to convince the umpire there that he marked that inside, but the umpire having none of that, and it's going to be a Northern Bombers free kick. Kicks it inside the 50. Comes away there through Stingle. Looking to get it on the outside, and he's away. Moves it out to Sulzberger?
Bales, I think.
Bales, sorry. Oh, bounce.
Manshandon.
The bounce beat Manshandon. Manshandon saw that heading towards goals, I think, Dave. But the bounce beat him at the off break, I think, that one.
He had 2 flags waving between the posts before he had that.
Boundary throw in, left half forward. It was a lovely handball there from Stingle to release Bales. Brilliant work from the youngster back in the team today as Lee taps it to the advantage here. Looking for Cox Goodger. Kicks off the ground in the direction of Bennett. Bennett handball back to Cox Goodger. Snap on goal. Cox Goodger is a goal. He puts his arm in the air. Terrific goal, Brad Cox Goodger. And that is his third for the day. And the Bombers 12-12-84 to 2 behinds. He comes straight off the ground as Brad Cox Goodger, but give him half a sniff, Max, and he'll take that opportunity.
Absolutely. Made nothing out of something there, or something out of nothing. And just the work that Tommy Bennett did as well. Like, he shouldn't have been able to get a handball out of that. It was congested play, but again, just with his experience, he hit the ball hard. He didn't sort of hesitate, sit back or anything like that. He was just, yep, I've got it, and flicked it over to his coach and said, that'll get me a game next week. Thanks, Brad.
You noticing something there, Rob, with Brad Cox Goodger as he come off the ground?
Yeah, he certainly got some trouble with that arm. We remember he had some trouble with that in the grand final, didn't we? I think he had a bicep injury.
Yep, he looks a bit sore coming off once again. Chris, we'll get on to that one as well. You're busy down there. Inside 50, Pearce takes the mark. Yep, paid. So he'll go back now from 40. It's a bit of an onslaught here at the moment for the Bombers. He thinks about the switch, but he's well within distance.
That's where they're going to have that problem with losing Brown. They've just got the massive size differential with Lee in the ruck. And
yeah, young Roach is not the same build as young Brown.
No, smart player Lee. He'll be capitalising on that all day.
So here he comes, Nathan Pearce. Joined the TSL from Hillwood a few seasons back. Kicks for goal. Umpire works to the right and signals one behind. 11-13-79. In fact, I missed a goal there. Is that right, Grebs? What about 12-12-84? 12-13-85. And that's 2 behinds, 2 points. Over to you, Rob.
Great pressure there from Manchan. It causes a spill. Bombers heading inside 50 again. Bennett! Oh, terrific mark. Just great pressure out there for Manchan. And Maxie called it. He'd got a bit ahead of himself, I think, a few moments ago, but certainly making it up from there, causing a spill of a certain mark from the Glenorchy kick-out, which has meant the ball's come back in. Tom Bennett from the boundary line. Check side. No mistake. Absolute bread and butter for the forward, that one. Tom Bennett making Glenorchy pay for that indecision on the kick-out, and that's his third goal for the day, Bennett. He's certainly... I guess I'd say, Max, their forward line setup, I say, is a little unorthodox, but I mean that in terms of so many options when they go in.
Yeah, they're not a tall forward line. Like tall players are pretty hard to find, I think, at any level these days. But Tom Bennett would certainly be 6'2", 6'3", maybe, I don't know, at the maximum. But then you look at the other guys around him, high half forwards at the best, a lot of them.
Chris Sale on the boundary.
Yes, John Geared for Glenorchy. His day he's noticed he's got ice all over him, back and legs and everything, so he's not well. And Brown will be right, he'll be back on shortly.
Good news there, and bad news for Glenorchy. Geared, one of their experienced players. Big loss. Hubbard now from the middle. Kicks towards the wing to Bales. Picks it up, gets tackled, goes again. Camrick picks it up. Chance for the Pies. Beautiful kick from Camrick. It's his teammate on the chest, Miles. Kicks inside 50. Chance for the Pies, their first goal. Knocked away from Atkin. Now it's back out at defensive 50. Plenty of Bombers there. Mopping up his Avent. Releases Bennett. Handball to a player under pressure is Bales. He still makes it go okay though. Tackled from behind there by Tom McGann. And good tackle there, McGann. Causes a stoppage.
Wonder if he's any relation to the next Launceston boy who was a cricketer, Nick McGann, who lives in the
Nick
south
is
now.
his dad, yep. Tom.
It is his dad, isn't it? Okay.
A good cricketer too, Tom. Played a bit of footy with North Hobart. Here they go. Jack Avent inside 50, picked up by Josh Whitford. Kicks wide here looking for Manson. He's got the march on his opponent's Dingle. Can he pick it up? He can. He's under pressure. Gets distance with a kick. Only as far as Ahern, who picks it up. Defensive side of the wing. Kick under pressure is poor. And a great tackle from behind there. Forces the error. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber this quarter, 5-2. Pies a chance again with Arnold. Defensive side of the wing. 3 quick goals in this quarter to the Northern Bombers. Arnold goes towards the pocket. Big fly from behind. Leaflang went too early. Ended up getting it though. Takes off. Backs himself, the young man. Leaflang kicks it towards half forward to Nan Curvis, who takes the mark, drifting up from defence.
He'll be loving that, the defender going forward to take the mark. Moves it on quickly, looks for Pearce. Butters up. Tackled without it, perhaps. Glenorchy getting the numbers around him. Ball off the free kick not paid. Well, that one, perhaps we're umpiring from up here. There's 2 they've missed. They're doing a great job though. But Glenorchy pressure a little bit high on both those occasions, but they're certainly getting the numbers around the ball.
I thought Josh Whitford got caught without it too, I thought, for Glenorchy, but anyway.
Yeah, they're letting it go. Ball up inside the 50. Oh, beautifully taken off the pack there by Pearce on the boot, but misses. Had a little bit more time than he thought. One of the things we talked about it being a teaching opportunity for Glenorchy. They've got to do something to stop the Bombers moving back through the middle of the ground. Beautiful mark taken there by Atkin. He's battled hard today. Ball smothered. Terrific effort there from the Bombers defender. Glenorchy trying to come away with the pressure around the ball's terrific. He's thrown it. Absolutely thrown it. That's a great tackle. Fletcher Bennett looking to put the Bombers into attack. Looking to go back into the middle. He's got options there, but he's saying no. He's heading inside 50 and finds Tom Bennett on the lead. Glenorchy having no answer to Bennett. He's been terrific on that today. 3 goals, as we've said. Presenting beautifully as he does every week. That one on the lead, not over his head, as we've seen some of his marks today. Just that set up back in the middle of the ground, it's interesting. There's a real study between the two sides. Glenorchy certainly not able to cut that off for the Bombers, meaning they set up beautifully heading inside 50. Bennett moves in, 45 metres out, ball's going to drop short. Glenorchy having the numbers around and no one guarding the back though. Ives is it, battling away. I think he's thrown that, I think the umpire said.
Free kick to McInnes. Might get down to Chris on the boundary. You might have some news there on Brad Cox, could you?
Yes, he came off after being hit or kicked or something in the nether region. The blokes don't like to get hit. He's back on the ground. He's good now.
Great move of the ball there by the Pies. Ends up with Dill going out of Roach. Back to Camrick. Has to wheel around. Does a full 360. And kicks high towards half forward. 3 against 2. Clears everybody. Brown's back on the ground. Taken there by Browning. Gets a little kick away. Well, going without it there was Skipper. Now it's inside 50 for the Pies. Stingle got one high, and we'll get the free kick. And 50 metres for descent, I'd say. A few words were said there, umpire Nick Butler. That's what they don't need when they were getting on their attacking 50. It's their third inside 50 for the quarter, the Pies.
While he's marching him, Dave, Hawks 46, Tigers 27.
Upset in the offing, inside attacking 50, Nankervis. Handballs to Pearce. Another goal for the Bombers. To Nathan Pearce. That is his goal number 3. 3. Thanks, Max. So another goal there to Pearce. 4th for the quarter for the Bombers. And when they move it inside that attacking 50 quickly, they look incredibly dangerous, Max.
Yeah, they do. Probably didn't help there with the 50-metre penalty. Just it gets people out of position. 50 metres. It's a very harsh penalty for some things that happen in footy, but didn't quite see what that one was about. You guys said the descent.
I think descent,
Yeah.
Against,
I
young
can
Miles.
relate to descent with umpires.
14-14-98, the Bombers. Glenorchy 2 behind 2 points. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 131 161. Here's City Park Radio Sports' Rob Soward.
Ball goes back up in the middle and probably a draw that time between the two ruckmen. Move forward for Glenorchy. Bombers numbers around it. Fletcher Bennett looked like in there. Busy as he's been today. No, someone disguised as Fletcher Bennett, I think. Actually, Fletcher Bennett looks like he's further back the field than that. Declan Chugg. Like twins.
Both been good today.
Yeah, they've both been very good today. Be pretty keen on getting Brown back on the ground, as Chris mentioned earlier. Lee first hand on. Ball to ground. Numbers around it. Could have been a throw there, but Glenorchy come away with it. Looking to move it quickly, give their forwards a chance. Run down from behind, that was Males. Bombers mop up across half-back, as they've done on the few times it's gone forward there today. I think the umpire's going to say that's mine and going to bounce it. Ball it up about 40 metres out from the Glenorchy goal. A very rare foray for them inside their 50. Umpire throws it up. Brown back on the ground for Glenorchy. Very important for them. Battled well today. He's moving well after coming off after a knock.
Big margin that to Windsor Park, Rob. 61 the Blues, 3 to the Demons. That's at quarter time.
Plenty of work to do there as well. Ball comes to ground. In dispute between the players. The umpire's found a free kick, and that's going to be for Glenorchy. A little bit high, a bit reckless, a bit over-enthusiastic is probably a better word. He was certainly trying to get his hands on the footy, but is it Ives? Arnold's got the ball for Glenorchy. I reckon he'd back himself in for the trip here. Rare shot on goal. Trying to put Glenorchy's first on the board for the day. 2 behinds to show for their effort so far. Moves in. Ball's going to get into the square. Glenorchy at the front. Comes away there. Throws it on the boot. Camrick brings up the first goal for Glenorchy, and you can hear the Glenorchy supporters. Round of applause there, showing their appreciation. He's been busy today, Camrick. We talked about him a few times early. Winning some clearances, Max, and bobbing up and kicking their opening goal for the game.
Yep, and I'm glad a guy like that gets the goal, because he's worked really hard, like you said, whether it be in the centre, in and under. Or then he was the only player who even looked like getting the ball off that pack. Then just read it well, showed his experience, and made the most of limited opportunities that the clubs had at the goalface.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, the two experienced players there, premiership players, Josh Arnold and Ben Camrick, combining. So we'll lift the spirits of the Pies and their supporters. As it's in the middle of UTAS Stadium, taken by Sulzberger, releasing handball to Van Dam, fumbles. Tackle from behind there from Tom McGann. McGann and Ives, Van Dam and McGann fight for the ball on the wing. The ball up. Any score from Bellerive Oval, Rob? I know you're focused there on the Tigers a bit, but...
Tigers have come back too. I'll do that Bellerive Oval score check for you.
Okay, next stoppage. Here we go with Roach winning the tap. Picked up by Cox Goodger. Underground handball. Finds Skipper. Left foot towards half forward. Cut off by Whitford. Whitford plays on. Up against Pearce. Long kick, Whitford. And it's going to float with the breeze out of bounds on the full. What do you got for us, Rob?
Long day for... actually, hang on a minute. That's no, that's not live. So just leave it with me.
Leave it with
me, and I'll.
Still going to be a long day, Rob. They're down by 29 points.
Okay.
North Melbourne 7, Port Adelaide 35.
Okay. Let's see. Well, could be a breeze there, as I keep saying. Is taken by Chug, left half back, on the pain of defensive 50 underneath the scoreboard. General admin area on AFL days. Chug, long, beautiful kick, finds his ruckman in Lee. That was a nice mark too from Lee up against the youngster in Roach. A chance to drive it towards attacking 50. Lovely kick to Pearce. Now he fumbled the mark, but he got the second grab just inside. So they're about to go inside for the 9th time this quarter. Little chip kick here, looking for Nan Curvis, who's gone 40. Be loving that. Cox Goodger's got it. Shrugs a tackle, shrugs a second. Back to Nan Curvis in his 100th game to the goal square. Oh, he should have taken the mark there, McInnes.
God.
Perhaps his teammates around him should have told him that. He was unattended.
Well, perhaps he just doesn't have any confidence in it, Dave.
So it could be more the point. Anyway, it's boundary thrown right next to the right behind post. 90 points is the margin, 98-8. McInnes, front position, wins the tap. Only as far as Cox Goodger. Now, he might have taken that out of bounds. McInnes, unlucky there, the young man. Cox Goodger kicked it. He just got his boot to it, McInnes, and it went out of bounds. Cox Goodger's not going to take the free kick, though, or the shot on goal as well. Theo Ives. So this will be a goal of the day candidate if he can snag this one. He's right on the boundary line. Now on the mark next to the behind post. He's going to go to the left foot snap, Theo Ives, and he kicks it. Does well. Goal to North Launceston. That's his first of the day after a few attempts. The Northern Bombers 15-14-104. League Glenorchy 1-2-8.
Yeah, like you said, Dave, very unlucky there for that one. But when you're playing as well as what North are at the moment, luck always seems to go your way, doesn't it?
It certainly does. TSL scores, and it's still Tigers 41-0, 6-5, 41-0 at quarter time. Let's see what happens in the second quarter there.
Just a message out there for all those people who look after websites. If you call yourself Live Scores, Dave, they've got to be live.
That's it.
Causing me all sorts of problems on the internet at the moment. So hope they sort that out.
City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. Dave Moore, Rob Sauer, Dave Gruber, Max Walker and Chris Sayer with you. Here's Rob.
Alex Lee, first hands on. Cox Goodger takes it away. Gives his forwards another look at it. Ball's going to bounce over the back. Ives, beautiful. Don't argue. On the boot. Easy as you like it. He's missed it. He's done all the hard work and sprayed it across the front of goal. But really, really good ball movement, as we've seen all day from the Northern Bombers. Out of the middle, giving the forwards the first option, and unfortunately not making them pay. Moves out to the far side. Glenorchy move it back out there. Ball's just remained in, just outside the 50. But can't be helped but be impressed, Max, with the North Launceston ball movement, particularly in those centre square situations.
Yep, you're right, Rob. Jackie Avent out of the middle, and the rest of them are on Cox Goodger. He gets it out of there regardless of who they're playing against. But just all the younger guys are getting a piece of it and being productive with it, not fumbling, not feeling too much pressure, and just building with confidence.
Free kick on cue to Jack Avent. Kicks, To the teeth of goal to Ives again. It might go through for a goal. Ives takes the mark, using his strength. He's kicked 1 goal 1 in the last minute of play. A chance to kick 2 goals 1. He's right on the line. Waste no time. Theo Ives, another goal. And by gee, this boy's got some potential. That was a really good contested mark, Max Walker.
It was just held, and just pushed the guy off at the last minute. Once that ball got within the 5 metre radius, as to when you can do a bit more pushing and shoving, and up until then they just did the good old wrestle and just held his ground really well. Probably could have let it go as well, but in saying that, only needed the Glenorchy defender to put the arm out and touch it, and then he would have been saying I should have marked it. So good work.
Yeah, he's certainly a talent, isn't he?
See John Geard down below us here. He's hobbling, as Chris said.
Ball goes back up into the middle. Lee again, first hand on. Glenorchy going to come away with it. I'm just looking who that is they've got in the ruck there now. That looks like Josh Meredith, is it?
Yep.
Throwing all sorts of things through the ruck today due to those injuries. Lee, front position, giving his on-ball his first use. Shandon had it, lost it. Glenorchy come away with it. Meredith throws it on the boot. Great courage there. Bombers come away. Beautiful mark taken out in front there by Josh Rickard. Looks inboard as they've done most of the day today. Quickly taken there by Avent. Pumps it inside 50. Bennett front position. Too smart, too strong. Once he gets those arms up, I think you may have mentioned before, Max, he might be 6'1", 6'2" in the old money. Just plays a lot taller, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And as soon as Avent had that ball, Avent knew where he was going to kick it. I was watching Bennett. Bennett knew exactly where to go and just left him one out. And one out like that, that's the best contest that you can have for Tom Bennett. Just used his body really well. And like I said, the mitts didn't even look like dropping it then.
He tries to mark it at the highest point too, which is important when you're 6'1", 6'2". Bennett approaches about 35 metres out when he kicks it. Looks like he's pushed that one across. He'd be disappointed, Tommy Bennett, with that one. That would have been one I reckon he thought would have been in the book. 16, 15, 111 Bombers. Glenorchy 128.
Matt Joseph from full back goes wide, overcooks the kick, and it's a mark taken by that man Tom Bennett again. Plays on, wheels around, puts himself under pressure, low kick, coughs it up. Mark taken by Jordan Green for the Magpies. He goes short here. Has to be good with the kick, and he is. Callum Thompson takes the mark. Plays on immediately. Handball over now to Josh Arnold. Sorry, Camrick it is. He kicks to the wing to Brown. That's Dominic Brown. Big turning circle. Gets a kick away under pressure. Tough contest. Dropping the mark there was Sulzberger. Might have taken. Follow up by Callum Thompson. Gets a handball away of sorts. Picked up by Ahern. He's under pressure. Good chance for the Pies. Camrick inside 50. Contest. Whoa! Liam Brown's gone down. But from the spillage, it's a shot on goal from McGann. And he's got it. Tom McGann. Slots a goal there for Glenorchy. Here's second for the quarter. 2-2-14. Northern Bombers 16-15, 1-1-1. Concern now, though, for Liam Brown.
Looked like a head clash.
Yeah, gee, he was gutsy in that marking contest.
Friendly fire it was. The other Glenorchy defender was forward was coming the other way. Doesn't look good. His teammates were calling for a bit of assistance straight away.
Yeah, great courage, and just both had eyes for the footy, Max, as you've said.
First senior goal for Tom McGann. Right place, right time from that contest, but Liam Brown.
Further worsens their day, doesn't it? They put him down forward because he was probably not right to be in the ruck. Then attacks the ball like that and comes off second best from your own teammate. It's
let's just hope he's winded because he's up now.
Yeah.
So he may be okay.
Probably the story of the day, isn't it? That Glenorchy just can't take a trick at the moment or even this season.
Yeah, look at John Geard getting injured as another experienced player. They lost Matthew Dilger last week against Lauderdale, so can you afford to lose players at the moment when they're struggling a bit for numbers in lower grades?
Just makes it so hard as a club as well. Like some of us have experienced it. If you don't have those numbers on the track, it's very difficult, and you're restricted for training drills and morale and all that type of thing as well. If you have COVID these days, throw that in there. Have 3 or 4 missing for this and that, and 2 or 3 for work, and instead of having 40 or 50 on the track for the two teams, they ended up with 25, 30, I suspect. just makes it so much harder for Cornelius and his coaching group to structure training and get some skills organised.
Ball goes back up into the middle. Lee first hand on. And we're going to get a rerun of that one. And I think, is it Meredith going back into the rock?
Got Chris down the boundary.
Yes, Luke Brown got an elbow to the head, but he wasn't knocked out. Didn't go unconscious, so I reckon he'll just have a bit of a rest to go back on.
Well, that's great news, and that's in the meantime, Cox Goodger drives it into Tommy Bennett again, who's on the lead. Corey Nankervis, sorry.
Yep.
Disguised heavily, as you would say, Foz, as Tom Bennett.
Now, he's spending some time forward in his 100th game, so
he is.
good on him.
This is just a defender's dream, isn't it? Make the most of it, Corey. Moves in from about 40 metres out.
Defender's kick.
Absolute defender's kick. I put the Mozza on him, but he's certainly providing a good option up there. So do a 16, 17, 113. Glenorchy 2-2-14.
Yeah, the scoreboard's a bit out, Rob. It's by one behind.
Causing us a bit of confusion.
And it comes Dylan Browning, dives on it, so does Ahern. Magpies trying to work it out. Joseph, now it's not a bad kick because he's going to release a teammate who's got some space. That's Isaac Manson. Maxie says to go. Manson, nice kick. Let's see if they can make something of it through Liam Roach. The bounce evaded him. And now the Bombers with numbers through Ethan Hubbard is where they're dangerous across half back when they move it quickly. Avent, who would have had, I'd say, at least 30 possessions today. We've got a quarter of footy to play. Now he goes across half back. Goes inside defensive 50. Finds Lockie Mitchell. He goes wider towards Leaf Lang, who athletically flies to the mark. He gets it on the bounce. Now to Bennett, who just gets around easily to Leaf Lang, who's got some space. Kicks nicely up the wing looking for Manshannon, but front position was Jordan Green, not paid the mark. Still a chance for the Pies through Manson. He's tackled as he kicks it. Now they come out. Manshannon has some space. Use his pace here. Waits on the handball to Cox Goodger. 60 out. That's the ones we love. Goes for goal. Cox Goodger has got it. He loves those. Does Bradley Cox Goodger from 50 on the run. 17-17, 119 to 2-2-14. Rod Cox Goodger kicks his max. Fourth for the day. 2 in the first, 2 in the third.
Yeah, certainly bread and butter for him there, wasn't it? As soon as he kicked it, he was just watching it glide through the air, and wasn't a lot of use celebrating to the crowd on the eastern side of the ground there, Bradley, because no one was watching because there's no one there.
Just a quick update for the listeners from Jack Soward, who's sent me a bit of a message to say the scrappy game. Tigers have fought back though. Hawks up by a goal, 53-47.
All tight. And of course, Port Adelaide well up at Launceston Arena. Some one-sided contest. In that game at Windsor Park, Ryan Tyrrell kicked 4 goals in the first quarter out of 10 for Launceston.
Wow.
So back in the middle. As Monty pushing it back to Avent. It comes out now. Good tackle that was there on Ives. And crowd says 50. Tackle laid there by Camrick. Ives in a bit of a to-do there with Joshy Arnold. Camrick goes wide looking for Josh Whitford. Waits the kick beautifully. And Whitford takes a mark. Defensive side of the wing. He kicked a couple this quarter. Problem is that North Launceston kicked 7 in this third quarter. Leaf Lang waits on it. Handball's over the head blindly. Looking there for a Hearn. Picked up by Dom Brown. The ball up. Left half forward.
Because it's hard to call a Whitford against North Launceston as well, isn't it? And he's playing really well today too, Josh, getting plenty of the ball, but very unaccustomed in saying Whitford against North Launceston.
9-5, 59 Tigers. Lauderdale 2 behind. So we've got 3 one-sided contests at the moment.
Camrick steps through traffic, drives it inside, gives his forward a look. Great defence there. I think the ball's going to get over the boundary line. It is. It's just in that blind spot that Dave's mentioned a few times, but very important fist there from Stingle, I think that was, to bust that up. But Camrick bursting through the stoppage. He's battled hard for them today, and obviously was rewarded, as we called earlier, with a goal. Boundary throw in, about 35 metres out from the Glenorchy goal. Bombers win it down. It's going to come out. Cox Goodger looking for his options. Touches it down. Heads back inboards. Switches the play to the far side of the ground. Stingle drops what he should have taken. Quick handball back through the middle. Bombers looking just to hold it up a little. Pushes it out to the wing. Taken there by Ahern. Caught. Dodges. Breaks the tackle. Swings onto his left. back into the middle. Bombers galore. Taken there by Van Dam. Those blue boots. Drives it inside 50 in the Nankervis Bennett direction. Beats them all. That was Lee. Dropped the mark. Siren's going to beat them. Lee throws the head back. Ruckman always looking for a goal. But as we head into three-quarter time, Northern Bombers 17 goals 16, 118. Glenorchy 2-2-14. We'll cross over to you, Max, for the goal scorers.
Yep, thanks very much, Rob. So we've got Cox Goodger with 4, Pearce with 3, Bennett with 3, Theo Eyes with 2, Harry Bales 1, Jack Avent 1, Isaac Newton 1, and Will Manshandon 1 for the Northern Bombers. For Glenorchy, the 2 goal kickers have been both in that quarter. The first one come to Ben Camerick. He's got 1, and Tom McGann has the other for their 2 majors for the day.
So plenty of goals that quarter. Entertaining quarter of footy there. 7 goals to 2, but the Bombers have extended that lead to 114 points. They remain on top in this contest. Max, Glenorchy showed a few things there. We'll get Grooves' stats in a moment, but the Bombers came out 3 goals in a hurry. Nathan Pearce looking dangerous up forward along with Bennett. And, of course, Jack Avent on board. What can we say about his game today?
Yeah, Jack Avent's been just elite today by his standards as well. It's been a really good contribution from him and been outstanding all day. I too, like you, Dave, and no doubt with Robin Grooves as well, that was probably Glenorchy's best quarter. Even though North kicked the most goals for a quarter, they kicked 7 that quarter, where it was 5-5 in the first quarter. But they just looked like they were more aggressive or something in that stanza of play. So again, what do they try and get out of this game? You'd set yourself a couple of mini targets. Okay, well, guys, we've kicked 2 in 3 quarters of footy. Let's try and finish up with 5 or 6. The reality is Cornelius knows that he doesn't have the quality available to him that he has in the past when he's coached at the club. But he's got to keep bringing on these new guys. The club's got to keep working with the community. It's a huge area to attract players from down there, and for them not to have an under-18 side and 16s this year and have their challenges with the Development League with injury, unavailability, COVID that affects all clubs. They're a proud club. I would like to hope that this year is where they bottom out and they start building up again. So if you're listening from the south, and you want to have a kick or anything like that, go and knock on Glenorchy's door, because they'll certainly be encouraging all the community support that they can get. So good luck to them in their future endeavours for the remainder of this year and moving forward. North, again, just you can never write them off. They got beat a couple of weeks ago by Launceston heavily. Went down to Kingborough last week, and everyone was expecting Kingborough to beat them because they have been travelling really well, the Tigers. And North just went bang, bang, bang and said, hey, guys, don't forget us. We're part of this competition and we're here to play finals footy, which they will do. But it's pretty close between the North, the Clarences, Lauderdale, Kingborough.
It's eerily similar to last year, isn't it? I mean, we saw the Bombers, I think, in round 1, and they were beaten, I think, blown away after three-quarter time by about 8 goals. They come back and they're within 2 kicks of winning a flag.
Yeah, absolutely. We better take a break here on City Park Radio. At three-quarter time, the margin is 105 points.
When it comes to your home or your local business, L-Gas is the smart choice. Make the switch and be rewarded with $80 in LPG account credits when you sign up. Whether it's cooking, hot water or heating, L-Gas has got you covered. For $80 in LPG account credits, visit the website lgas.com.au, download the L-Gas app or give us a call on 131 161. L-Gas. Local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Saturday Night Rock on City Park Radio. Kick your weekend into top gear with The Rock Show every Saturday from 7 till 9, straight after Reelin' in the Years. Get ready to rock with The Rock Show, Saturday night 7 till 9, here on City Park Radio.
The
memory of a great movie lasts a lifetime. So come on down to the Star Theatre and check out our broad range of latest movies to escape for a while. Enjoy our choc tots, treats, even a delicious meal with a glass of local wine in style and comfort from an era of the past, where the staff are friendly and ever so dashing. A great place for private functions, fundraisers, corporate events for the best birthday bash ever. Check out our website, startheatre.com.au, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Yes, here at three-quarter time, Bombers 17-17, 119 to Glenorchy 2-2-14. We'll get down to Chris in a sec. In fact, we might get down to Chris now before we do groups and stats. Chris, you've just emerged from Brad Cox-Goodger's address there to the players.
Yeah, still working out tactics. They're still a professional side, aren't they? BCG says that one downside is they're waiting for the turnovers. In that quarter, they waited for the turnovers instead of, they expected them to happen instead of making them happen. But he made a few little changes on the board. They're still working out their side. They're still aiming to play this game right out to the end.
Thanks, Chris. So we'll hear from you at the end of the game. Quickly, groups of stats. Hit-outs to three-quarter time, 38-19. So Alex Lee right on top there. Clearances 29-14. So after an even first quarter, the Bombers on top now with that stat. Inside 50s, 57-12, 15-7 in that quarter. Marks inside 50, 22-0. So the Pies yet to take a mark inside 50. Free kick, 17 to the Bombers, 16 to Glenorchy. We're getting underway here in the last quarter. We'll better distract Rob from the AFL because these Tigers are getting closer to the Hawks. Last quarter action here at UTAS Stadium.
They are. They've just hit the front as we almost head into half-time there. We've restarted here. And umpires found a free kick there for Camrick. He's going to send it inside 50 again for Glenorchy, looking a bit more purposeful. Big fists coming in there. Fletcher Bennett and other North defenders. Got Lockie Mitchell in there, taking that over the boundary line. We're going to have a boundary throw in around about 30 metres, 25 metres around from the Bombers, the Glenorchy goal. They'd like to start off here with a goal, I'm sure. Build on what Max and you said, Foz, about their increased endeavour that quarter. Lee at the front, tap down, Glenorchy trying to get it out. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to be a Bombers free kick for Brad Cox-Goodger. Being held onto there by his opponent. And Brown, Cox-Goodger plays on quickly. Finds Lee Flang. Looking to move it quickly to the far side of the ground. Ball's going to drop short. Taken there, I think that's Atkin by the looks of things. Pumps it inside 50. The game for Glenorchy. Well, could have marked that. The Bombers defender. Always reckon Jack Ahern. Just a coaching point there. If you can get both hands on it to fist it away, you can probably get both hands on it to mark it. So, boundary throw in again on the other side of the goals this time. Glenorchy deep into attack. Good start for them this quarter. Rain getting heavier here. Lee first hand on. Bombers are going to come away with it. Moving it quickly. The ball's out of bounds though. That's a poor kick from, was it Sulzberger? Ploughs it out. Glenorchy are going to get the ball. Climbing the fence to collect it. It's bounced over the fence, giving the Bombers defenders plenty of time to get back and set up, and they've got extra numbers inside 50.
Richard Dilger with the ball. Couple of kicks out from goal. As the rain, as Rob said, is getting heavier. Chips it short to Brown. Good spoil there from behind from Hubbard. Now Jack Avent leans back in a little kick and finds Harper on defensive 50. Switches it now to Cox-Goodger. Nice handball, releases Avent again. Runs his full measure, touches it to the ground. Handball to Sulzberger under pressure. Tackled from behind. How does the umpire read that? No, Pryor. Good tackle there by Tom McGann. It's a nice goal in that third quarter. A bit darker here. The light's taking effect. Lee taps it straight to Camrick. Air swing though with the footy. Fumble uncharacteristic by Cox-Goodger. Kicking it forwards Brown. To Liam Brown. Slippery ball though. It just slides off the turf. And it goes out of bounds. Unlucky because Brown was about to snap on goal.
They've certainly been a lot busy, Glenorchy, haven't they? I mean, you know, you could say, well, the Bombers have put the queue in the rack a bit, but you certainly can't fault Glenorchy.
4 inside 50 to 0 this quarter. Mind you, they do have the advantage of the breeze blowing towards the town end for our radio listeners. Lee, front position against Roach, gets the tap out to Hubbard. He's dispossessed. Roach with the follow-up, out of bounds. So one-sided contest today in the TSL. Probably one unexpected one is down at Kingborough, where it's 66 to 4 at the moment, and 88 to 3 at Windsor Park. So,
well, Lauderdale would be shocked by that, wouldn't they, after their recent good form?
Absolutely. As tap from Lee into space, picked up by Arnold. Little kick, dangerous here for the Bombers. Can someone fashion a shot? Arnold tries to. Little volleyball being played here. Arnold still fighting there against Cox Goodger. 2 experienced players battled for it. Umpire says ball it up. Rain possibly the heaviest it's been all day now.
Camped inside the Glenorchy 52, Foz, eh?
Absolutely. Margin 105 points, 17-17 to 2-4. Still fighting for it. We haven't seen too many of these repeated stoppages today. It's been a pretty open game. Credit to the players in these wet conditions. Lee and Roach. Lee again, another tap out. Cox Goodger, underground kick. Gets distance. Picked up by McGann. Handballs to space. Camerick nicely to Males. Kicks it to the teeth of goal. Bennett should get there first. And eludes him and falls out of bounds for a throw in, 20 metres around from the goal. Playing 5 minutes in this last quarter on City Park Radio is Rob Soward.
Did everything to keep it in play then, Bennett, but the bounce got him, and the boundary umpire's picked that one. He's thrown a 30-metre cutout past Max, and he's thrown it over the fence. David Campese, for those listeners who remember him, would have been very proud of that. But the boundary umpire's direction, not like Campo's used to be.
No.
Tigers in front now, 59 to 53.
Jack Soward tells me that Martin and Bolton were very important that quarter for him, Dave. So hopefully that continues for the rest of the game. Groobs is looking nervous.
Port Adelaide 43, North Melbourne 17. So comfortable lead there to the Port.
Boundary throw in. Again, still camping Glenorchy's 50. Up they go. Cox Goodger again, as he's done I think 3 times so far this quarter. Clears it out from the stoppage. Mark dropped what he should have taken there from the Glenorchy player. Driven back inside 50. But this time, taken by Ethan Hubbard. Switches the play dangerously. Luck's a fortune, as they say. Moved out, looked like a Hearn. Drives it out to the wing. Or hands in the back, Mark, whichever way you look at it there. To Glenorchy, free kick, play on. Drives it forward again for them. Bombers got the numbers around the ball, fisting it. Cox Goodger picks it up again. He's had a million possessions this quarter. Back into the middle of the ground. Taken there by Harper. Harper moves it forward dangerously. Bennett, Mark, dropped, held. Could take your pick. Umpire said no, I'll ball it up just inside the 50. Very unlucky there, Tom Bennett. Got his hands on.
I think it was Nankervis.
Nankervis.
They're trying their hardest to get him a goal today, aren't they, in their in his 100th?
Absolutely. Lee goes up again. Bombers numbers around the ball. Picked up. Thrown on the boot. Was that Ives? Inside 50. Ball bounces dangerously around. Tapped on by Pearce. Umpire said it's mine. Numbers around it there. Holding it up for Glenorchy. Directly in front of the north goal. 30 metres out. One of their rare inside 50s, Dave.
This quarter,
Yeah. Ball goes up. Lee again, as he's been all day. Huge punch there forward. Bombers battling on. Gets it away. Oh, Bennett flies high. Or have I called Nankervis again?
No,
it's Bennett this time. They're messing with me today. Usually at different ends of the ground.
High tackle. Pies free kick.
Relieving free kick here to Glenorchy.
I think it's Browning back there in the sleeves. Number 33. No, it's Dean, number 37, and his kick's not great. He will probably not be penalised here. It was just a poor kick, so out of bounds.
That's where they've got to get better, isn't it? Like they had a free shot then, had the free kick. No pressure on him when he kicked that. It was just laid the body back and sort of looked half disinterested when he kicked it.
Avent again, handball, Bales, 45 out to the goal square. Pearce is there. Dumped from behind by Nankervis, taken by Bennett. Held with one arm, gets a high tackle though. Josh Whitford wasn't real happy. Tell you what, if he did that in the AFL, it would have been 50, but he gets away with a little bit of frustration there. Does Josh Whitford?
Hasn't been happy a couple of times today, Josh Whitford.
No. So Bennett, who has kicked 3 goals today, 1 in each quarter, Max. Have I got that right? Yes. And this will make it a 1 in each quarter performance in the last quarter as well. Bennett for goal. Oh, it comes back, doesn't it? It sneaks inside. Oh. He's judged that perfectly with the breeze there. I thought that was missing the left for certain, but it's drifted back in, and he's kicked his 4th. And North Launceston's 18-17, 125 to 2-2-14. And that's only their second inside 50 for the quarter, but they've scored the goal.
Like a doozer, wasn't it, that one? I was with you on that one, Foz. I saw that missing.
Took them a long time to get that first goal as well. 9 minutes into the quarter. That was probably the longest wait for a goal this game for them.
Might get down to Chris. Chris, has that breeze really sprung up this quarter?
Not really. No, not down here. But, I mean, York Park, it comes through the gaps in the grandstand, so it's a bit hard to tell.
Okay, so we've got still 20 minutes this game to go. So Glenorchy will want to get a couple more goals, I'm sure, as Camerick, another clearance for him. Don Brown, can't take it with him. Lovely pick up by Stingle. Now to Avent, defensive side of the wing, low kick. Anybody's ball, Pies pick it up. Now it's with, that's number 8 and Thompson. Pumping back inside 50 was Roberts towards attacking 50. And Bennett does the defensive thing, knocks it out of play.
He's done a good job down there today, Bennett. He's got plenty of mates, though. They've certainly...
Similar to the Avent situation, Avent was one of the second string midfielders 4 or 5 years ago. Bennett came in as, just a bit back pocket, but he's really stepped up.
Certainly has.
As those other defenders have left to other teams and retirement, etc. There might be a high tackle on the Northern Bombers player there. It's going to be a ball up, 60 out. Next week, City Park Radio. We've got Tornadoes on Saturday night, and we're back up the next day here from 11 a.m. North Launceston versus Lauderdale. And we've got another ball up on its way. Josh Arnold on the boundary. What's he got on? Is that headphones he's got on there, boys?
It is headphones, yeah. He's obviously talking to the coach somewhere along the line and giving some advice to each other.
Ace is up in the stands there.
Good way to communicate with the guys.
Little kick to attacking 50. Don Brown up against Hubbard. Gets his hands free. Handballs it inside 50. Declan Chugg does it calmly. Gets it to Avent. And it's out of bounds. City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 131 161. Also thanks to our stream sponsor, DALY Potato Co. Sponsoring all the streams this year. Here's Rob Sowett.
Boundary throw in, deep in the Glenorchy 50. Glenorchy trying to give themselves an opportunity here. Oh, chopped off beautifully by the Bombers' defence. Socket forward there by, I've lost his number. Looked like Richard Dilger. Bombers getting some numbers around the ball though. Dilger just got a toe on it, just at the right time, and kept it moving forward. But the Bombers, as they do, work as a unit. Bottle it up. Ball up. Lee. First hand on, quick kick out there, back in towards the centre of the ground as they've wanted to do all day. Coming back with interest though, driven deep into the Glenorchy 50, but it's a great mark there by Lee Flang. Defence into attack, chopped off though by Glenorchy, picked up. Camerick throws it on the boot to no one in particular. Bombers again through the agency of Bennett. Out there, was it Ahern? Harper's got that now. I think Ahern was the kicker. Harper having a look on that far side of the ground, onto that left boot. Drives it along to the wing area. Bombers again come away from it. Beautiful tackle broken there. Looking to set something up here and get it up the other end of the ground. Bennett up the ground. Kicks it to Pearce. Pearce handball over the top. Looking threatening the Bombers. Heads inside 50. That's a really, really nice mark taken there. It's possibly as far as away as he could be from us, Dave. Who we got there?
Jackie Avent.
Avent centres the ball. Chopped off by Glenorchy. Beautiful tackle. Avent gets his hands on it again. Holding the ball, going to be a relieving Glenorchy free kick, advantage paid. Moving the ball quickly. Fletcher Bennett in a beautiful position there to stop that forward foray. Pushed off the ball by his Glenorchy opponent. Ball heads back inside 50. Moved on quickly by Brown. Nice mark, but it's all Northern Bombers. Taken there by Stingle. Moves back through the centre of the ground. Held up there by Rickard. He's looking for options further afield. Comes out to the wing. Manchandon moves it on quickly to Cox Goodger, who's got a paddock in front of him. Cox Goodger dummies, balks, runs around two of them, centres the ball beautifully. Pearce probably should have marked that. Nankervis, handball over the top. Is that Avent? Beautiful mark there in the last line of defence by Glenorchy. Kicks it out to no one in particular. It's going to be all Northern Bombers here, Dave.
Declan Chugg takes it, kicks inside 50 to Nankervis, who takes the mark on his chest. Now, it might be on his limit here. As Maxie said, they're desperate to try and get him a goal in his 100th game. He's played forward pretty much since half-time, I think. He's done a good job too up there. He's presented well. And he and Bennett caused a lot of headaches for the Pies defenders with their height and experience. Nankervis on the boundary. Centres it, holds up in the breeze. Mark dropped there by Browning. It's bottled up here. Going to be a ball up. Front edge of the goal square. North Launceston into attack. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber this quarter. 8 to Glenorchy, just a 5 to North Launceston. Getting dark here at UTAS Stadium. Quick kick out of the fence by the Pies ineffectual. A lot of players around the contest. Bodies flying in everywhere. Roberts comes in. Clears the congestion. Foot race. Ahern wins it. Little handball over the top. Gets the call there from Van Dam. To Hubbard. Hubbard kicks to a crowded forward line. Mark dropped there by Dean. High tackle now on a Bombers player who line up 20 out directly in front.
Manchandon, I think it is again.
It's young Will Manchandon who kicked his first goal on senior footy in the second quarter. Has a gilt-edged opportunity to slot through his second. Been good today. Worked his way in the seniors a couple of weeks ago. Was set to debut earlier in the season, but missed through illness. Was good last week against the Tigers at Twin Ovals. Solid today for goal number 2. Will Manchandon has done it easily. Well done to the young man. Bombers' 19th goal. 19-17-131. Glenorchy 2-2-14.
A lot of players in that forward 50 for North Launceston at the moment, Dave. A lot of tired bodies too, by the looks of it. That's, the tempo's slowed right down, and more mistakes being made. You know, a bit fumbly, drop marks. So
he's looking promising, young man Shannon. He moves well.
Yeah, he must have grown a bit as well. Like I remember, when he was in the Devils program 3 years ago before COVID. He was like knee-high to a grasshopper, which was really, I guess, stifling his development a little bit. But with his tenacity and will to win the footy, certainly doesn't lack any of that. But so he's probably put on a bit of height as well.
Before I get to Rob, I'll go now, Rob. Off you go.
Yeah, taken away by Pearce out of the middle. They're giving him a run on the ball. Beautiful kick inside 50. Is that Avent?
Yep.
Yeah, he's had a million touches today. Leather poisoning, I'd say. Finds Bennett lace out. Beautiful. No, Nankervis, he's done it to me again. Now, this, I could be on the end of calling this goal. I've called him the wrong bloke all day, Corey Nankervis. I'm used to seeing him up the other end of the ground. Brad Cox Goodyear, if any of your coaching team are listening, it's always easy for commentators if you do that. Guys that look the same, different ends of the ground. Nankervis moves in, and he is going to just push that wide. I was riding that as Max was. He's throwing the pen on the desk. I was riding that one all the way. But Corey Nankervis, he's been very, very good up there today. And obviously, again, handy for his coach to be able to use him at that end of the ground. Glenorchy kick it, bring it back into play. Ball's going to be chopped off again here, but Brown, a very important hand on there from Glenorchy. Ball moves back, Ahern drives it into 50. The fumble from Glenorchy, under enormous pressure. Camrick tackle, ball spilled, holding the ball. Fantastic tackle there. Run-down tackle from Bradley Cox Goodyear, and it was just, he's going to be lining up for his 5th goal today. Dave's just pointed that out to me. But fantastic pressure from Brad. this stage of the game, and Fuller running. 40 metres out directly in front. I think that's going to be 50. I didn't see what that was for.
I think Nankervis was trying to lead out and he was being held, so he's got a free kick.
Yep.
10 metres out from the goal square. Or on the edge of the goal square. So he can't miss this, the backman, I wouldn't have thought.
Max has said it.
Absolutely.
Max
So
has put it
let
in
me
the book.
call it. He's put it through.
Nankervis.
That's why they've played him forward, guys. Have a look at him get around him. Well done. Well done, Corey Nankervis, in your 100th game. You've got that little bit of icing on the cake now, mate.
That's absolutely fantastic.
I wonder if that's his first goal in senior footy, Max. You might,
it could well be.
I
I
get
was
Chris
thinking
to ask
that
the
earlier.
question down there to see if he can find out. See what amazing scoreline at Windsor Park. 16-4-100 at half-time at Launceston. The Demons 139. 7 goals to Ryan Tyrrell in a half a footy.
Good effort.
Might have found someone there.
Good
I know
effort for a half-back flanker.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the other game, the Kingborough Tigers are still doing pretty well there. We'll get some AFL perhaps at the next stoppage or two, Rob, if I can get you onto that.
No worries.
Kingborough 67, Lauderdale 20, so they fought back a little bit there, perhaps with a breeze in that second quarter. Up we go again. Theo Ives giving Alex Lee a spell in the ruck. He might have got one high. He did. Theo Ives will take the free kick. Theo's the call as the player streamed forward on the left boot. A lot of left footers in this North Launceston team. His kick though was chopped off by Josh Arnold. No, it wasn't his first goal in senior footy. Thanks, Chris. As Matty Joseph, handball's back now to Dilger, back to Joseph. Chance to build something here for the Pirates. Kick towards half forward towards Will Brom, but great defence there from Lockie Mitchell.
Just something you both mentioned in the conversation at half time. Really important with Glenorchy's learning that they keep impacting this game. I keep harping on it, but the way the Bombers are allowed to set up in the middle of the ground, that's got to be something that Glenorchy have got to learn from.
Back position, Ives taps it only as far as Thompson. Bursts through, puts on the left boot inside 50. And almost a mark there to Meredith. Off hands though. Nice handball comes out to Joseph. Confronted. Camerick. Handballs to a stationary Brown. Nice tap onto Dominic Brown, who lays the tackle. Well done, Dom Brown. Does he get a push in the back? No. I'll tell you what, there's some good individual efforts in forward 50 there. And Dom Brown is not going to get up in a hurry. I caught one in the kidneys there.
He's unlucky not to get the free kick. He put his body on the ball.
Yeah, he caught one in the head too, I think, as he was going down over the footy. So,
brother of Benny Brown, Dom Brown there. Benny Brown also played a bit of footy for Glenorchy. Up they go. Ives and Brown nullify each other. Ball taken by Brom, not escaping the tackle. Ball up.
Very quick half-time update, although they have just commenced. Hawthorn, Richmond 59, Hawthorn 53, and at half-time Port Adelaide 56, North Melbourne 25.
Okay, one's going as expected. Chance for the Pies here, can they snap one? Ives, shark there nicely by Thompson. Breaks a couple of tackles, but eventually gets caught holding the ball. Like to see young players take it on, that's what Callum Thompson did, but just couldn't break through that strong North Launceston tackling. Cox Goodger, sweeping handball to Bennett. Back to Cox Goodger, waltzes past an opponent or two. Kicks the middle of the ground superbly to Rickard. Rickard takes it, wheels around, another left footer. That's not a good one though. Lux of Fortune finds Mitchell. Takes it well on the bounce. Forward to Pearce with a nice foot pass. 2 kicks out from goal, left-hand side is Nathan Pearce, 22-minute mark.
Kick it to Alex Lee.
That's the call. And it goes towards Lee, and he takes the mark. You're a clairvoyant, Michael Walker. As he kicked it forward, he got to the right side of the contest, got to the drop of the ball, did Alex Lee. Gets up hobbling, and a chance for a goal for Alex Lee. Doesn't kick too many. It's a beautiful one on the run here a few weeks ago against Clarence. But a set shot opportunity.
He was standing there with his arms in the air for 15 seconds demanding the ball before anyone but me saw him.
Alex Lee, 20 out, directly in front for the Bombers' 21st. And umpire works too much, one behind. 2019, 139 to 22-14.
He'd be disappointed with that. I made the point before when he almost had a shot on goal. Ruckman just loved those, resting Ruckman. And Wilkie about to bring the ball back into play, looking for an option, coming out towards the broadcast side of the ground. Bombers have got the numbers around the ball. Brown flies high. Kicked off the ground there by Glenorchy, trying to advance the play. Quick handball out there from, that was Roberts, moved it forward. Inside 50, Brown. Chopped off beautifully though, as they've done all day. Fletcher Bennett. Been terrific across half-back for the Bombers, looking to shift it to the far side of the ground. Run his full measure, touches it down on the slippery turf. And again, makes the Glenorchy player come to him. That was Atkin. Taken there by Ahern, moves it back into Cox-Goodger. Quickly moves it onto his left, back through the middle of the ground to highlight the point I've been calling all day. Taken there in the middle of the ground by the Bombers. Having a look at his options, that looks like Will Harper. Harper looks, swings onto the left boot. Nice long kick into the forward 50. Oh, Pearce was pushed under the ball. Glenorchy had the numbers there. Manchander was front and centre. Good signs there for him. We've given him a bit of a rap today on how he's developed. Pearce probably unlucky, got nudged under that one a bit there before the ball got there, but the umpire balling it up just inside 50. Ives, first hand on for the Bombers. Lots of numbers around the footy, comes out again, Ives. Cox-Goodger's there calling for it. Bomber player tackled, looks like a throw. It's going to be a relieving kick to Glenorchy.
Josh Whitford with the free kick. The number 30 switches play. Ball comes up here towards McGann. Wasn't a great kick. Once again, not sure the player was there. They're a long way away from us, but I suppose it wasn't great. So it's a turnover. Cox-Goodger, 70 out. Kicks low, sharp pass, beautiful to Nankervis, who takes the mark. What an elite kick that was from Brad Cox-Goodger. You just expect him to do stuff like that, but when you sit back and admire it, it's just amazing what he can do. Did not break stride, Corey Nankervis. Took on his chest. Tough shot, though.
Got bruised ribs from that one, I reckon,
Absolutely.
Dave. It was a bullet.
Stab pass back in our day, Maxie.
Your day, Dave.
My day is Corey Nankervis. He might have got a second, has he? No, he's offline. One behind. 20-20, 140 to 2-2-14.
It always makes me wonder, when you see a side that's developing like Glenorchy playing a side like the Bombers, why someone doesn't tag Cox-Goodger. What a great way to teach a young player how to play the game.
Yeah, he and Avent have just run right on ball today. Contest there, Ahern. There he is again, Cox-Goodger. And there's Avent again, right on cue. Over the top to Bales, who's been pretty good. Left foot, inside 50. Not a bad pass, but it clears the contest. Manchander lurking. Can he kick a third? No, he can't. Lost possession. Chance here, Nankervis unselfish. Anson decides to take it through for a rush behind. In the dying minutes here at UTAS Stadium. Bombers by 126. Josh Arnold kicks it to the wing. Chance here for Liam Brown. Well, Adam Roberts, actually. So it's out of bounds. Centre wing. Don't forget, we're back here next Sunday for TSL action. North Launceston up against Lauderdale. The Bombers looking good again in season 2022. Hiccup a few weeks ago at Windsor Park, but a few tries are going to struggle there this year. Chance now for Camrick. Been really good today. To half forward. Males is there. Almost a good mark to Leaflang. Chug fighting on. Chug to Mitchell. Little handball backwards now to Van Dam in the blue boots. Fumbles. Brom fumbles. Tries to knock it on. Player's tired. Umpire picks out a push from the back. It's going to go the way of Ethan Hubbard.
The Siren's going to beat them all, Dave. Siren's going to beat them all. Final score at UTAS Stadium. Northern Bombers, 20 goals, 21 behinds, 141. Glenorchy, 2-2-14. So, a lot to like about the Northern Bombers, and certainly a lot of upside for them. So, a lot of young guys, a lot of people playing some different roles this year, and certainly plenty of upside for them as the season goes on, Max.
Yeah, there certainly is, Rob, and we've also got their Devils players to come back too. They've got a game tomorrow down at Windsor Park, so you throw in another, I think they've got 4
Cowan,
or 5.
Ollington, Seth Campbell.
Leary,
Yep.
Yeah, all these guys, Seth Campbell, that pushes out 4 or 5 of these guys who, on today's effort, are deserving of their spot absolutely 100%. So, they're certainly showing quite a bit of depth here at the moment. And as we see Cox-Goodger going over to the umpires for Umpire Appreciation Day, calling all these North Launceston boys over there, which is great, and the Glenorchy guys are following. So it's been promoted in the press quite a bit from the beginning of the year. The lack of umpires at all levels at the moment. So great for these two very proud and traditional clubs to acknowledge the involvement of these umpires today. And well done, boys.
Chris is going to try and grab an interview there with Corey Nankervis after this little guard of honour. Gee, Alex Lee is hobbling there. He's got the ice on the knee already. So that's not a great sign.
It's great, as you say, though, Max. I mean, without umpires, we don't have a game. And we've commented all year. You can hear the applause coming through the effects mic there. We've commented all year about the really, really great standard of umpiring we see week to week. So congratulations on behalf of all of us up here in City Park Radio commentary box to all of our umpires out there, because without you, we don't have a game.
Go through Gruber's stats. Thanks to Dave Gruber, does a great job each week, and we might do that in a moment because Chris Sayer has got the 100-game player Corey Nankervis. Go for it, Chris.
Hey, g'day, Corey. Congratulations on the win, but more so on the 100 games. How does it feel?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a while. It's probably it's been about 5-6 years getting to the 100, but yeah, I've really enjoyed being lucky enough being successful with North and really enjoyed my time here. Yeah.
And to be part of a proud club is a great legacy.
Yeah, played with some great players and a pretty good era with North Launceston being so successful, and yeah, it just makes it more fun playing footy and more enjoyable.
How did you enjoy your time up forward today?
Yeah, the boys are trying to look after me. Kicking boots weren't on, but it's always something different to get up forward. Wouldn't have kicked too many goals in that 100 games.
When you kicked that one in the last quarter, they came round. You reminded me of Buddy Franklin's 1,000 goals.
Yeah, it was nice to get one on the board, but yeah.
Reckon you got another 100 games in you?
I'll see how the body feels, getting on a bit in age now, but still enjoying my footy, that's for sure.
Well, congratulations, well done today, and on the 100 games, you've done a great job.
Yeah, thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Yes, boys. He's a popular guy, isn't he? Alex Lee has got some ice in his knee there, but I think he's just a bit of a knock on the knee, came off in the last 5 minutes. But they're giving Corey Nankervis armchair ride off the ground. He's certainly a well-respected player.
Thanks, Chris. Great interview. As you can see on the stream there, Josh has got a vision there of Corey Nankervis being chaired off. Good work today, Chris. Good win by the Bombers.
Yeah, it was. And I think, Glenorchy will learn from each of these games, I was going to mention Corey, North have got such a young side, but these young guys are learning from people like Avent and Bennett and Lee. These young guys are come through. North are going to be really strong, aren't they?
Absolutely. Thanks for your work today, Chris. We'll catch you next Sunday.
Okay, thank you. Looking forward to a big day.
Absolutely. It's Chris Sayer there on the boundary. Did a great job as per usual. As has Dave Gruber. Let's look at his stats. Hit-outs today, North Launceston 55 to Glenorchy 25, 17-6 in that last quarter. Clearances 36-21 the Bombers' way, 7 apiece in the last quarter. And I'd say out of those 21 Glenorchy clearances, Ben Camrick probably had at least half of those. Inside 50s, 69-21. Gee, that's a hell of a lot of inside 50s for a game of footy. 12-9 in the last quarter, so the Pies had their fair share of inside entries there. And 28 marks inside 50 for the game for North Launceston, 0 to Glenorchy. So we talked about those forwards and the delivery into them. 28 marks inside 50, that's average of about 7 a quarter there. Free kicks, well umpired game today, 24 to North Launceston, Glenorchy 22. Max, before we get to your 3, 2 and 1, the first time you've seen North this year, I think. Is that right?
I was there round 1.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Impressed with some of those younger players?
Yeah, I am. Absolutely. And they just keep popping up for North Launceston, as they do for the Launceston Blues as well. But certainly today, a couple that I hadn't seen a great deal of. Connor Lifflang, Blades Hillsborough, I've seen a little bit of. Guys like Ethan Hubbard, Lockie Mitchell got a bit of a taste of it last year as well towards the end of the season. So certainly if those guys are keen to continue to challenge themselves playing at the highest level, there'll be opportunities for them to continue playing good quality senior football. So and the pressure will be on those guys as well, like we said earlier about when the Devils guys get back in the fold and so forth. So it's really important that they do get heaps of opportunities, make the most of them. They're all getting touches. There was no passengers out there for North today.
Yeah, fantastic effort. And for the Pies, they gave it everything. They're undermanned. They've lost players through injury and illness. you lost players in the off-season. You couldn't fault their effort today. And as they say, you said at three-quarter time, Max, it's going to be a long way back up, but you've got to start somewhere, and they'll learn a lot from today.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, probably the second half was a heap better than their first half. There were still 10 goals kicked by North in the first half compared to the second half, but the second half they just seemed to be, without showing it on paper, they were more competitive. Yeah.
Okay, Maxie, you're 3-2-1.
Yep, I'll just go through a couple of better players for Glenorchy for the day, which it's always a challenge to find better players when you get beat by 20-plus goals. But thought Luke Brown was serviceable in the ruck, got injured a couple of times, but he kept bouncing back. Callum Thompson tried hard all day. Isaac Manson got a little bit of it throughout the course of the play. Matthew Joseph, always reliable and consistent. McGann and kicked one of their goals, showed a little bit from time to time. Josh Whitford likes to get amongst it, likes the inside play. And obviously their best today was Ben Camerick again, who's certainly racking up some best and fairest votes, I reckon, for Glenorchy this year. Excuse me. For North Launceston, pretty hard to pick 5 or 6 better players today. Nathan Pearce with his 3 goals, Tommy Bennett with 4, Will Harper chipped in with 1, he was good. Theo Ives showed what sort of player he's going to become if he keeps progressing the way he is. Corey Nankervis chipped in for his 1. You'd be silly not to give him a mention in his 100th game. He played his normal Dow self down back and provided a focus up forward. And young Jack Ahern was one of the better younger guys who really impressed me today. Yep, absolutely. 3-2-1 for today, and apologies for anybody who misses out here, but Brad Cox-Goodger, 1 vote. Thought he was fantastic. Took him a little while to get going. Probably the first quarter was his not the best quarter out of all 4. Fletcher Bennett was just exceptional from the first bounce. Gave him 2 votes for his 4-quarter contribution. And Jack Avent in the middle, drifting forward. I think he kicked 1 goal in the first quarter, but he was certainly, in my view, best on ground today for 3 votes.
Mike Walker's votes for City Park Radio: 1 to Brad Cox-Goodger, 2 to Fletcher Bennett, 3 to Jack Avent. Thanks for being with us, Rob.
Thanks very much. And yeah, we were entertained, as I said earlier on, by a Northern Bombers side with plenty of upside, Dave.
Absolutely. And thanks, Max. We'll see you next Sunday. And you too, Rob.
Great, look forward to it.
Yep, look forward to it. Don't forget the Banff_Bisons, guys. Get out there and like them on Instagram. And thanks for your work too, Dave and Groobs and Chris down on the boundary. Yes.
Yeah, thanks to Groobs and Chris for giving up their time.
And Josh on the camera. Absolutely. Look at him. He's not happy over there without a mention.
Thanks to Chris back in the studio at City Park Radio. Does a great job each and every week. And stand by for Deb Wilson, who's on Saturday afternoon music, coming up next on our great station, our community radio station here in Launceston. Final score here as we bid you farewell. It was Northern Bombers, 20 goals, 21-141, defeated Glenorchy 2-2-14. Bye for now.